Everyone, welcome back. We have a great guest on today. He is a philanthropist. He is an entrepreneur. He is a former member of the United States Navy, and he is a professional poker player. And he just wrote this incredible book. It's called The Setup. Mr. Dan Bilzerian, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I'm been referred to as a philanthropist ever, so that'd be a first.
No, you are a philanthropist. You do a lot of stuff undercover. You talk about it a little bit in the book. Yep. Yeah, pretty great stuff. So you told me this book was honest, and It is, man. This might be the most honest autobiography I've ever read. Some of the stories in here, if they happen to me, there's no way I could tell them.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of, I fought a little bit with that. I mean, there was like stuff I said in there that I hadn't, ever told anybody, like getting caught jerking off and all that shit. I was like pretty fucking embarrassing. But I just, I felt like if I didn't tell the whole story, then the crazy stuff I felt like wouldn't be as believable. And not only that, but I just felt like too many people just give their highlight reels. You know? Too many people just talk about all the great shit about themselves. And I don't know, man, I wanted to just tell the whole story. And the only way to tell the whole story is just kind of, fucking bad shit too,
This is not a highlight reel, man. This is, well, I'll tell you what's great about it is that there are so many stories about you that were lore, but we didn't know the context to it. Like the kicking incident, I thought that happened in San Diego. I didn't know that happened in Miami. Yep. The fact that you are the person who got Nick Ritchie off the dirty, I had no idea. And that was like a huge story. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, he was basically talking shit, and he had. I remember I was on the set of Lone Survivor, and the producers were upset because there was like some bad articles. He just kept putting out bullshit, and I talked to a mutual friend, and he basically said, Nick will take you off the site. You got to pay him $5,000. And at the time, I was like, $5,000 was nothing, but it was just the principle that I was being extorted to. And I was also one of those guys that kind of like led with my worst traits too. So for me, I was like, you know what, fuck this motherfucker. Like, what's he going to say? Like, go ahead, like fucking do it. And so I think he like took that as a challenge because everybody else like really just paid him, like all the clubs, all the other people. It was just not worth the hassle. And so, but I didn't really mind as much when he was talking shit about me. It was more like the girls that I was dating, like this girl, Andrea, and he would just constantly put her on there. And she was like the sweetest girl. I mean, did you know Andrea?
Maybe. I don't know if I met her. I think maybe once, but like I had several female friends that had considered like they were incredibly sad, possibly suicidal because of some of the stuff that he was writing about them.
Yeah, I mean, that was another thing is like he was just like, I don't know, man. I consider just like offing that dude in the fucking desert. I think I told you that before, but I was like, I just
for fun.
I just felt like he just did so much bad shit.
Yeah.
That he was just like one of those people you could just like fucking wipe off the earth and feel good about it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up just getting it done legally. He put a thing out basically saying that I had chlamydia.
Yeah.
And I was just the wrong motherfucker to do that too, because I got STD tested every single fucking month. And so I had like 5 years of medical records. And so, and I also like, I knew the girl that he was talking about, and like I fucked her with a condom, like, almost every other fucking girl. And we were cool. She was like, wanting to hang out and this and that. I was like, there's no way this girl's ever going to fucking like go on the dirty and say that. Like,
of course.
Like, what's her upside? And like, if I actually did give her chlamydia, why the fuck would she be like trying to hang out with me every weekend? Like, there's zero chance, right? And so so I just said, fuck it, I'm just going to sue this dude, and we're just going to go to the mats. And, they tried to settle all these different times. And I told you this when we were on the phone. I was like, basically like at the settlement thing, like, his attorney's like, what do you want? I was like, for us both to just like keep throwing money into a pile and light it on fire until one of us goes broke.
Light it on fire until one of us gives up, bro.
And then, Nick's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, how am I ever supposed to settle? And I'm like, you're not. We're just going to keep going and going and going until you run out of money. And that's what happened. So
yeah, man, I did not know it was you. I remember that website was doing a lot of damage to a lot of people. I'm gonna talk about the craziest story in the whole book. What do you think it is, by the way? What would you say the craziest one is?
Oh God, the craziest. It's just, I guess it depends on how you like what seems crazy to you, right? Because there's so many things in there to me that seemed crazy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, losing your virginity to a Mexican hooker at 13 is probably pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy, but I know
that didn't seem that crazy.
But I know other people have done that. I do not know other people personally that have muled steroids across the Mexican border.
Oh, see,
for SEAL training.
I would have rated that as like one of the least crazy.
You're kidding me, man. Okay, can you tell the story?
Yeah, I mean, I was paying a buddy to bring steroids across the border for me, and I wanted to save like the $150. So we decided we'd all go down there and stick them up our ass and then walk across or actually drive across the border. We had been walking before, but I figured driving would be better. And man, that was unpleasant.
You said your buddy got out of the car and it was like projectile.
He like, yeah, he just blasted a shit right in a Goodyear parking lot, broad daylight, just fucking laid the snake. And I was just like, God damn. And then he had to go through his shit and pick it up. And then he's in the car. I mean, it was just, I mean, you read the fucking thing.
Yeah, that's crazy. But you did, no, I have a question for you. How many guys, this was, you had been rolled back first time in SEAL training. This is during SEAL training.
Okay, so no, this was the second time I went. I hadn't been rolled back yet. So the first time I went through El Natural. I didn't really know that people were juicing. And then when they kicked me out after Hell Week, I was like, well, fuck these motherfuckers, you know? I just really didn't have a lot to lose.
Yeah.
Because before there was always like the threat of getting kicked out of training. If you went down to, you know, if you were just in Mexico, like forget about steroids, like if you were just down there, you were going to be kicked out of training. So the first time it wasn't really a consideration. And then, like I said, when I got rolled and then kicked out after Hell Week and my body was like so broken down, I was like, oh, fuck it. You know, what have I got to lose? I'm going to go do it. And so I did that. And then as I was waiting to get processed out of the Navy, I'd been juicing then too and like training and this and that. So then the second time I went through, I was gung-ho on it. And, yeah.
Would you say other guys were doing that though?
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of other guys.
Well, I went down there with a bunch of other guys.
Yeah, okay.
So that went back. So yes,
so the idea that guys were taking roids during SEAL training is not that's something that was new to me. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't either until, you know, I went in but I think it's true of a lot of like special forces. I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, you're training, you're doing crazy shit. It's high adrenaline. It's, you know, it's you know, risky profession. So, I mean, people that are less risk averse and that are in those things and also like really care about fitness and like being in good shape and looking good and whatever, like those are all naturally the people that are going to be prone to be juicing the most anyways. And so if you got people that are willing to like go through SEAL training, they're usually pretty ballsy dudes. And it's kind of like the barrier to like trying something like that just goes down with the more, you know, aggressive and crazier the people are. So in
the book, you actually show the heaviest stack that you ever did. Yep. What was your opinions about taking roids then, and then how do you feel about them now?
Well, you know, and I said this in the book, I think that kids absolutely should not do steroids until they're finished growing because it's just not worth it. You're going to fuse your epiphyseal plates, and it's like, you know, okay, so you put on 5 pounds, but you lose a couple inches. It's just not worth it. You got your whole life to, you know, put on muscle, but you only have a certain period to grow. So definitely not worth it until you're done growing. But then after that, you know, it's just kind of a function of where you naturally, like, go get tested and then see where your baseline is and then make an informed decision, you know.
So what happens if I go to a doctor and my test is at like 2,000? Is the doctor going to be like, are you taking anabolics? Like, how does that work?
Well, if you're at 2,000, then you're probably taking anabolics or you're like a freak of nature.
Right. No, but I'm saying is like, obviously the doctor's now going to know. Is there a special relationship that you'd have with certain doctors?
No. What I'm saying is you go before you take the steroids.
Oh, got it.
So
okay,
you figure out like what your baseline level is. Like, okay, so you're a guy that's naturally 600. So you've got a different decision than a guy that's naturally 1,100 or a guy that's naturally 300, right? Yeah. So it's like if you're naturally at 300, you just get on and stay on forever, and you just know that that's, you know, part of your deal, right? But if you're a guy that's 1,100, it's like, man, like, I'm not going to get that much higher on juice, and I've got a naturally really good level. So do I want to, you know, possibly damage that? And so that's just a different decision, right? So I think everybody before they do it should figure out where they're at,
right?
Because it's just it's information. You know, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like if your levels are 2,000 and you still want to do them, and okay,
yeah. No, what I meant is you take anabolics, then you go to the doctor, and they're like, holy shit, you're at like, you know, 2,000, 2,500.
I get them prescribed from my doctor.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right, so that's another thing.
Yeah, so I monitor my levels, and you want to do that because unless you get blood work, you're really not going to know.
Yeah,
I mean, you kind of like, you can feel a little bit, but you want to know where you're at. Like there's free tests, there's serum tests, there's a lot of things. So you want to like educate yourself on that. Get your blood work done, and then you're kind of like, you know, tweaking. It's like a performance race car, you know. You're just like putting, you know, getting your levels perfect and everything. And if you're fucking redlining, you can have issues. And if you're, you know, in the safe zone, then you'll probably perform well.
Yeah. So definitely. About your childhood, there's another thing, another big mystery. Again, it's lore. We don't know. We know about your father, Paul Bilzerian, being in finance, and the book opens up with him going to jail, telling you he's going to jail.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on the childhood, and that was to me probably the most traumatic and impactful thing I had happen, early. That was like one of my earliest memories. And so, I figured that was a good place to start. And yeah, I think the reason that it was more traumatic was because he was convicted like a year or two prior to that. And that was his course of appeal. So he was appealing for like a year or two. And during that course of appeal, he's like, in the newspaper, okay, Paul Bilzerian's going to jail. He's convicted, like all this shit. And all the kids were teasing me and whatever, your dad's going to jail. And my dad was telling me, no, I'm not going to jail. So for me, the hardest part was facing all the kids after for a year and a half, I'd said, no, he's not going to jail. And then feeling like an idiot. And then also, there's a little bit of feeling of like betrayal from my dad. Cause it's like, oh, he promised me he wasn't. And then he did, so there was all that, like not seeing him too much for a year wasn't that big of a deal. Cause I didn't really see him too much before that. It was more like, kids giving me shit, me feeling stupid and, all that.
The honesty, though, that I thought you had as far as your motivation when you talked about your father not spending a lot of money and having a lot of money, and then Ernie. You had a buddy named Ernie, a family friend named Ernie who did.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just my dad. It was my mom, too, and then my mom's father, my grandfather. He had some money, and he didn't really spend it. I was like surrounded by people that had money but didn't spend it. And then I had my next-door neighbor, Ernie, who, I mean, this guy had less money than anybody, and he was fucking like balling out and living and fucking the hot chicks and doing the cool shit. And it's funny because like looking back, I wrote this book as like a diary, right? And so I look back and I see the things that happen, and it's like very clear why I took a lot of the choices that, or paths that I did. And I'm like, okay, this makes sense, like, and I start seeing it, and it's like, man, like you realize how much of an effect your childhood has on your trajectory, where you end up, like what things are important to you and all this stuff. And so that was one of the interesting things about writing this book, is realizing like, certain motivations.
Yeah.
And,
And then the motivation. So the book is called The Setup because your life there's a system that you had developed. And one of the things I thought was really interesting is that you were going from point A to point B when it came to money, when it came to girls, when it came to fame, and you found the quickest way to get there. One of the most Sun Tzu Art of War things I thought you did in the whole book was that you perpetuated the idea that you were a trust fund kid so that you could get into bigger games, and you wanted people to think that you were not that good at poker.
Yeah, I mean, most people look at poker like, okay, who's got the best strategy, who's got the best implementation of that, who like understands the game, who makes the least mistakes and all this stuff. And they look at it more in the sense of like the online poker game and the math and like how many mistakes you make and like, how close you're playing to perfect and this and that. And so many people just overlook the biggest piece of poker, and that is understanding who you're playing, getting in with bad players, game selection, like really at the end of the day, like playing with the worst players that have the most money. I mean, that's the fucking key. It's not like eking out an edge against these pros, and these fucking retards online are like, oh, like I have a 4% edge against this guy and this guy. It's like, motherfucker, I had like a 70% edge against this dude, and this dude couldn't fucking win for like millions of dollars. Yeah. And I'm playing this guy who's fucking high on cocaine, not even looking at his cards and like shooting girls with fucking baby oil. You know what I mean? It's like, and you fucking idiots are online like trying to eke out a little fucking edge, and it's like, and they look at me like, oh, there's no way he could have made that much money in poker. And it's actually kind of funny because last night, this is the first time I've said anything about this. So the guy that I beat in the book, Alec, he watched the Nelk Boys podcast. And in the Nelk Boys podcast, I said that I beat him for like 40 or 50 million. It was actually around like low 40s. And he's like, he sent me this whole text message saying like, oh, I didn't lose that much. And I like sent him the numbers, like exactly what he lost. And I was like, yes, you did. And then he like challenged me. He's like, okay, well, let's fucking put our balls on the table. I'll play you for 25 million a piece wired into the Aria. We could play live in front of people. And I like, at first was like, oh, like, I don't know if I want to, play for 25 million. And I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Fuck it. Like, I'll fucking play this guy. And so I texted him back. I was like, okay, it'll take me about a week, or, whatever, week max. I'll get the money, fucking send it to Aria, let's battle. And then he took a little bit, and then he's like, it's not worth my time unless it's 50 or 100 million. I thought about it. I was like, okay, motherfucker, fine. 50 million, wired into Aria, we'll play it. Take me, max 10 days to get the money. We'll fucking put it on TV if you want. We can have it a fucking televised event. We'll play heads up for $100 million. I was like, And now I haven't really heard fucking
So
anything back.
he kept
from him.
bluffing you, and you kept calling.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's challenged me to 2 matches. I've accepted both of them. So if he doesn't want to fucking play me, then I mean, I want to let people know, like, fucking dude's got a fucking bullshit. And I think for him, it's an ego thing. He's got tons of fucking money, and he's won a lot of money in poker, and so I think like it's a bit of a fucking ego issue. And so whatever, man, we'll fucking play on TV, and I think that'd be good. I think like, anybody that like wondered if I was actually good at poker, they get to see it, and they get to see me beat the guy that I fucking beat for the biggest amount of money.
This is AG that you refer to, and he was a neighbor of yours when you were up on Blue Jay?
No, he lived in Bel Air, and I was, and Blue Jay was in the Hollywood Hills.
Okay.
He was neighbors with Wahlberg.
Okay, got it. And Wahlberg actually watched you guys play.
Yeah, he watched the game.
That's incredible.
Not a full game, but he came in there. I met him on the set of Lone Survivor, and we were talking, and then I don't know how his neighbor came up, but he's like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to watch you guys play." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then yeah.
Do you recognize that you're wired differently than other people? Because there's a part in there where you talk about being sick. You're playing for, I believe, $8 million is what you ended up winning. You said you go to the bathroom. You had mentioned your hair was falling out. You were vomiting. You understand most people wouldn't even have gotten to that point, Dan. No, most people, because there's a poker pro who's in your book who says, I've never played, I'm a professional poker player, and I've never played for this type of money. Do you understand that your amygdala functions different than other people?
Yeah, I have I think I have a larger, like quotient for like risk, I'm like willing to take more risk, I think, than other people. But I wasn't vomiting, but my hair was falling out. I mean, it was definitely very stressful.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And when you have stress like that, it spikes your cortisol levels. It's hard to sleep. I mean, there's like a lot of issues that come with it. And, yeah, I don't think most people could handle that. And also it wasn't just large amounts of money. It's not really about the money. It's about like the percentage of your net worth and how much that's going to affect you. So I was, there was numerous times in my poker career, a lot actually, where I was playing for like money that would absolutely and did positively and negatively affect my life and change my life, and that was one of the biggest stresses of playing him, is that like we were playing for such a fucking large amount of money that there was, no real ability to drop down in stakes after that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could have, but man, that would have been fucking soul crushing. And Mike talks about that in the book. Mike Mattisau, he did a vignette, and he talks about like the most difficult thing for him ever was dropping down in stakes. And so by taking this to such a high level, I mean, dude, we were playing 10,000, 25,000 blinds. You know what I mean? Like, so the opening raise is $100,000. Like, I mean, people don't, that's like before you fucking see the flop. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize like how big that is. And then the re-raises were like $300,000, so it's like you're seeing a fucking, $1 million flop, and it's like, or after you make the bet, it's like $1 million pot. It's just, it's a lot of money, but it's more than that, man. It's like that. If I had, like hundreds of millions at the time, it wouldn't have been a big deal. It would have been whatever the fuck ever. But at the time, like I was playing for large amounts of my net worth. Like, dude, when I was sitting there with 18 million in front of me, that was like a big chunk, man.
Yeah,
if I would have lost that on a hand, that would have been fucking crippling. And so it was, it was one of those things where I had stress before. Like when I lost the 500,000 in the Bahamas, that was, I mean, dude, that was at the time, I think it was like 20% of my net worth. So to like lose 20% of your net worth in one night at a poker table is fucking brutal, man. But that wasn't as crushing because I wouldn't have gone from fucking here. Like when I was playing AG, I was worth fucking like a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, so that would have been a fucking dramatic change in lifestyle. I had a house in, I was renting a house on Blue Jay. I had that crazy house in San Diego. I had a badass apartment in Vegas. I mean, I was like living like I had, hundreds and hundreds of millions, but at the time it was probably like worth like, I don't know, 40 or 50 million, So it's like, it was one of those things where comparative to my net worth, I was playing for fucking huge money, and it was money that would have been like very hard to fucking make again. Whereas when I lost the 20% of my net worth, when I lost the 500,000, it's like, okay, like I wasn't that rich, I had like $3 million bucks. Like, okay, like my life wouldn't have changed that much if I would have just gone flat ass broke and gone to the military again. Cause that was kind of like my backup plan. Like I would just go back in the military and fuck it, whatever. And it would have been doable, but like after you're worth 50, 60, 70 million fucking dollars, going back into the goddamn military is not really a fucking
No,
option.
it's not.
Like taking orders from some fucking jackass. Like it's just not going to happen,
Yes.
you know? So like it was different, you know? And also my like level, my baseline was so fucking high that, that I just would have been miserable. And I was older. Like I don't know, man. There's an age, I think there's an age where you can go into the military and then after like a certain period, maybe like in your 30s, like you just don't want to be taking fucking orders from people anymore, you know?
You mentioned that you had lost all respect for money at one point.
Well, I don't know about all, but it is really difficult to have normal respect for money when the blinds, like I said, are fucking, you know, $25,000, and it's like you
had distorted your feeling about money.
Totally distorted. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, I was buying like $40,000 suits. I mean, it's just, how do you take money seriously? Like, you know, when you're when I was tipping at the restaurants, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I still do this, but like I would tip 100%. Like I'd, you know, give people $100 bills when I was parking. Like I was just fucking, I don't know, man. I was like Monopoly money. Like, you know, I'd pull into the valley. I didn't even carry anything less than $100. So everybody that got a tip was $100 minimum. Like I mean, dude, it was like whatever. I didn't think about it.
You mentioned you flipped a coin with AG for $3.3 million.
Well, I say a coin. That was initially what we were going to do, but we actually ran a handout. So we just did a blind hand. So, I mean, same exact thing.
Yeah.
It's 50-50, right?
50-50.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest, just like pure fuck it gamble that I ever took.
Yeah, and you tipped when you won $8 million. You tipped the dealer $300,000. I have a lot of friends that are poker dealers, and I showed them. I took a picture of that. I was like, he tipped $300,000 for one game.
I should have had that girl do a vignette for the book.
Yeah,
I thought about that afterwards. Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
But yeah, no, I tipped them a lot. That was just one game, you know, but. He was tipping a lot of money, and I just didn't want any incentive to fucking cheat me, man. It's like pretty easy to, you know, fucking throw a fucking card in there, or deal off the bottom or whatever, and you know, that's what had nothing to do with AG. But you know, these are fucking dealers. That's what they do. They sling cards for a fucking living every single day. So I mean, like for out of a 12, 14-hour session for them to fucking do one thing, I mean, or put in a cold deck. I didn't want it to happen.
Yeah, you didn't want the possibility of this dealer cheating you.
Yep.
Sam Majid is kind of a main character through the middle third of the book. Can you talk a little bit about him?
Yeah, no, I mean, I talked a lot about him. What do you want to know?
Well, so you mentioned before some of the crazy stuff that you had done with Sam. Like you were driving to, you wanted to do a heads up game with Sam because sometimes he was a little bit late paying, and so you were going to go to a private jet where Paris Hilton and her family were waiting there, and you guys go to a gas station and he rips off the back half of the car.
Yeah. So basically, he was pretty shitty about paying, and you can't blame the guy. I mean, all he did was fucking lose. But
how much did you win off of Sam total? Because you had mentioned he'd lost $80 million at one point, right? In the book.
Yeah. I think I beat him for over 10. Beat him probably over 10. But yeah, that trip, it was, I just figured like if we went to the casino, then I knew I'd get paid. Right? Because he has to wire fucking money in. So it's like wiring $1 million. I'll bring $1 million in cash. He always liked cash. So yeah, I threw $1 million in a backpack, and fucking he had chartered a plane, and Paris was on there with her family, and they were waiting for like 2-3 fucking hours.
Is he dating Paris? I guess the context for why Paris Hilton is there is kind of like not there. I didn't understand.
I mean, we were both friends with her. I think he liked to hang out with celebrities and stuff like that. He was fucking Lindsay Lohan and he wasn't hooking up with Paris that I know of.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sam actually got a lot of pussy. And so he had told her that she'd get a ride, I guess. And I showed up at his house. He's fucking late, always fucking late, just like jamming everything in a fucking bag, doing rails in between, and you know, gets in his fucking car. The goddamn gas lights on. He's fucking doing 70 miles an hour down Doheny. Fucking hits a goddamn curb. I mean, it was just like you're just fucking scared for your life, man. And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, fuck, man, the money is just not worth it. Like I'm gonna die with this fucking guy. And I like looked over, and we're in traffic, and I'm like, dude, your fucking gas lights on. He's like, oh, good point. I'm like, yeah, good fucking point. What are we gonna do? You know, like, and so like, I'm like, we might be fucking walking. And so we managed to get to a gas station without running out of gas. He fucking throws in like $20 and like and he I think he like backed into it. I don't know. I tell the story better in the book because I like went through a text. He like backs into the thing, like rips the whole fucking bumper off, like scratches the side of his car, then jams it in drive, and then takes off, and like the whole back of his bumper just is like left the gas station.
And you were on the way to a private jet where Paris Hilton and her family had been waiting for hours.
Yeah. He chartered a plane, or maybe the casino gave it to him when he wired the money in, and yeah, I just, after like 10 minutes of driving, I'm like, you realize that you'd fucking left your whole goddamn bumper on the fucking gas station. He's like, no, I didn't. It's like, okay. And, it was like that with him. Like, he's just so fucking crazy. And he's like doing coke while he's driving. He's like driving with his knees, like no hands on the wheel, like just a fucking total fucking basket case. You get on the plane, and I'm just like so curious as to like how he's going to function with normal people.
Yeah.
Her family doesn't need anything from fucking Sam, the rich people. Like, she doesn't need anything from him, the family. It's like, it's different when people need something from Sam.
Yeah.
And they would behave differently. But I was just like curious, like, okay, these are people that are like richer than him. Like, how are they going to deal with this fucking maniac? And they were just so fucking like cool about it. And I was like, fuck, like if I was as rich as them and I'm like sitting on a fucking plane for 3 goddamn hours on the tarmac, I'd be pissed, you know? And they were cool about it. And it was funny, man. We were like in the back of the plane. And I could just see him. He was like such a fucking hand grenade. He's like, getting more and more anxiety by the minute. I could just tell like all he wants to do is fucking cocaine, but like he doesn't really want to do it in front of the family. So he's just like, what am I going to do? So finally, like after he just like can't handle it anymore, he goes in the fucking bathroom and comes out like a fucking like kid had been eating powdered donuts, like shit all over his face. Like he was the messiest coke user I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, to illustrate that point, you are now in the win. You're partying after you played with him for a while. You had lost some money. You go to the win. You have a 45 caliber pistol on you, right? Yep. He pulls it out of your waistband. Okay, so hold on. You're in. You tell the story.
Okay, so we had been playing at the win. Like we showed up there, and like everybody's like taking pictures of Paris, and it was like kind of like one of the first times I'd like seen it, like right up close and personal, and they'd sectioned off us like a whole area to play in the poker room. And so we went over there, and they had like bottles of champagne and fucking foie gras and all this bullshit. And we're battling. He beats me, and there's like people fucking like watching. They had this whole thing. And after he beats me a couple times, then he decides he wants to take a break. If he's fucking losing, we're sitting there till fucking the sun comes up. Yeah. There's no leaving. The goddamn doors are fucking sealed. But if he starts winning, then all of a sudden now he wants to take breaks. He wants to go party, this and that. I'm like, God damn it. Fine, whatever. So we go to XS, and first thing we did was drop off like the 300 grand that I'd fucking lost to him. We locked the money in his safe, and I was just like so fucking bummed out about it. And I was like, fine, give me the fucking coke. Like I was so irritated. I was just like, I needed to get fucked up. And so we go to the club, and the first thing he does, he wants to go into like a private room so he can do more fucking blow. So we go into their like the office or whatever. And I had the gun in my back, and it was like hitting the back of the seat. So I took it out and like put it on the table, and it was like this badass like engraved like fucking ivory handle, like sick ass 45. So I was like, always kind of like looking for a reason to show the thing off. Not to mention it was irritating my back, so I just put it on the table. And he's sitting there with this fucking tin can of Coke, and he's like trying to get the goddamn thing open like it's a fucking Rubik's Cube. And, he just like can't figure this thing out. You can just see him like getting more and more irritated as the time goes on. And finally, he just like, it's like he's going to fucking bust a gasket. He just throws the fucking thing as hard as he can on the ground. It like hits the ground, bounces off the table, comes back. Like Paris fucking dodges the thing, and it like hits the fucking wall. And he just grabs the gun like he's going to shoot the fucking thing. And I'm like,
okay, so just let's reset for anybody who's not listening here. You're in the win. You're in a special office in the win.
No, XS.
You're at XS. You're at, and while you're there, he pulls out your 45 caliber pistol in one of the rooms, and he's willing to shoot a tin can full of cocaine in this office.
You imagine how that would have turned out?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't pull. It was on the table, so he grabbed it. And thank God the safety was on, because I think he would have shot the fucking thing. He was that frustrated, and he wasn't thinking. He's like not one of those like, when you're fucked up, you're not like a really forward thinking like responsible guy. And he was always just like, I mean, he was gonna die, right? So he had a death sentence. This guy already didn't give a fuck.
He had a terminal illness.
Yeah,
and you didn't know at this time.
I didn't know, and also he's like super rich. He's got a death sentence. He's fucked up on coke. Like this is just a recipe for fucking bad things happening, which is what always happened with this guy, right? And so, Yeah, I managed to get the gun away from him, and I was like, man, that was like one of the moments where kind of like my life flashed in front of my eyes. Like, what a fucking disaster that would have been, because it was my fucking gun. Like, it was just, oh my God. You can only imagine what would have happened if he would have fucking got a round off, you know,
in a casino, with a bunch of
into a can of coke,
into a can of cocaine.
I mean, can you imagine?
I can't even.
Gunshot goes off, like there's coke all of the, like what do you do with it? And I have a backpack with like $700,000 in cash. Like, what happens at that point, right? Like,
if you're in law enforcement, please comment below and let us know what would have happened at that point.
Yeah, please.
That's crazy, man. The other thing, so the first time you and I met was in 2014. Justin Ross Lee brought me over to your house. We had dinner, and you told me the tiger shark story, which eventually you put in the book. Sam had bought you matching tiger sharks.
Yeah, that was unexpected. And he put him in his fucking pool. Yeah, he was a nut, man. He was a fucking absolute animal. I mean, you just never knew what was going to happen with the guy, you know? And it was just always, like such an adventure. Like every time you went over to his house, you're going to be doing high-stakes gambling. There's going to be naked girls. There's going to be fucking illegal activities. Like, you know, he's going to be fucking whacking golf balls into his fucking neighbors' houses. Like, I mean, he's just a fucking maniac. So, it was never boring, man. Absolutely never boring. And then you'd always win money. It was so you playing him would always win money. So no matter how crazy it was, you mentioned before in the book, you always ended up going back. In fact, you said you stopped playing him for a while, and then you heard he was losing all this money, and then you went back to playing with him. Yeah, I quit him because, like, you know, he was playing so bad, and also he like really didn't want to pay, and there was like all this shit. So I just kind of like, look, like, I don't want to fucking play anymore. And then he hauls off and loses like fucking $50 or $80 million and like pays it. And I'm just like, motherfucker, like if he's going to be losing this money, like at least fucking lose it to me. And so, yeah, then we started playing again, but it was just a crazy time, man. He bought like every Dior shoe from Rodeo and had that like delivered to his house. So like anytime girls would go over there, he had like all the brand new shoes, all these fucking purses. So like, he said he didn't want to fuck hookers, but like he would give every girl that came over there all this goddamn money, right? So it was like, and he would definitely get a lot of pussy, but like he wasn't technically giving them money for it. So like in his mind, it was okay.
Yeah.
He had like this very strict moral code. That was another thing about him, is like, he was a pretty good dude. Like he would, you know, aside from like paying his debts, like he was like, you know, if he said he was going to do something, he did it. Like he had rules, like you couldn't talk shit about other people in the house. Like he's like, I don't know. He just had these like very strict rules. One was that he didn't, you know, pay girls to have sex with them, this and that. And like I said, but then he also had like the whole fucking Hermes and Chanel shoe collection just like brought into his closet. And so girls would like literally come over there, and it was like they're going shopping at Rodeo, but they were at Sam's house.
That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy. So, one of the great things about this book is that you talked about how people would have a narrative about you. The first big one, we already talked about the thing with Nick Ritchie. The other one was the big one, which was the kicking incident, and you set that straight. And it sounds, I mean, I knew nothing about it. Can you talk about exactly what happened there, where you were at that Miami nightclub? Yeah,
so I was there, and I had one girl that I was dating to my left, and the girl that I was kind of like fake dating to my right. And the girl on my left was a girl that like was living with her boyfriend or something, so she couldn't really be seen with me. And the girl on the right was a girl that like we'd hooked up, but she wanted monogamy, and I didn't, so we just decided to be friends. So I would take her to like all the events. And anyways, there was some girl at the table that just like really wanted to stand next to me. So she said to the girl to my right, Christine, she said, you know, like, you can't stand next to him all night. And she's like, yeah, like I can. I came here with him, like whatever. And I don't know how that escalated into the girl like punching her in the face and like knocking the other girl off the table. And then she like jumped and tackled her, and she was like hitting her on the ground. And at the time, like it was like too low to fucking like grab them. So I like tried to like kick the girl off her, but I didn't connect.
Yeah.
Right. And so you see like me kick, but I don't hit anything. And then I grabbed my girl and pulled her up on the stage. And my girl had like a fucking black eye. She's all fucked up. The other girl that I was dating was like on the ground. It picked her up, called security. They called the police. And, you know, my girl's like, I want to press charges. Okay, cool. So we go in the back, talk to the cops. And the cops are like ready to cart the two girls off to jail. And they basically said to my girl, they're like, hey, you know, we'll take this girl to jail and you can press charges. But, you know, like Miami County law states, whatever, that if two people get into a fight, they both have to go to jail. Yeah. My girl's like, fuck that. I don't want to spend the night in jail. Like, fuck this bitch, but I'm not like trying to, go to jail for her, So she said, no, I'm not going to press charges. There was no mention ever of like me touching the other girl. The girl, obviously, if she would have said that I kicked her in the fucking face, it would have been all over, like cops would have filed a report. It would have been a whole thing. There was no mention made of that whatsoever. It was like, this was a discussion of these two girls fighting. The other girl didn't, the girl that started the fight didn't have a scratch on her. And then Nick Ritchie posted a video of, me kicking and said, oh, Dan kicked this girl in the face. He contacted the girl. He got her a lawyer. He said, oh, you got to fucking, go after this guy. He's got a lot of money, blah, blah, blah.
Nick contacted the girl who you did not connect with, but there was a video of you swiping it. Yeah.
I would have happily kicked her in the face. I mean, she fucking attacked my girl, fucking knocked the other girl off the fucking stage.
This is what I mean by the honesty in your book, Dan. Like you in several instances like this, you say, I would have kicked this girl in the face. I just didn't.
Absolutely.
And I would have put Nick Ritchie out in the desert and buried him, but I didn't.
I mean, so dude, if I'm with a girl and she just gets fucking attacked, like,
of course,
I'm going to fucking kick the other girl off her. I mean, it's like, it's one thing if it's a mutual fight, like, okay, then, you can break it up, let them bang it out, whatever. But like, if a girl's just like fucking attacking a girl unprovoked who's not hitting her back, that's fucked up, and like, it's something that you should fucking stop. Right. Like, and so it was one of those things where, and I would have gladly like taken the fucking rap for it if I did it, but like to get a bunch of shit for something that I didn't do was like pretty fucking irritating, right? And so, anyways, that really didn't go anywhere because she had, no injuries. I didn't kick her. There was a bunch of people there, there was like, everybody saw what happened.
But the narrative.
Yeah. So then he puts it out there that I'm just like fucking beating up girls. Like, and I think he like put on there that she was like trying to get up onto my table and I like kicked her. Like, it was just such a ridiculous
exactly what I read.
thing.
Yes, I remember that.
It's like some girl's trying to get on my table, so I kicked her in the face. Like, come on. It was just so fucking ridiculous. But, it goes out there and my attorney's like, no, don't make a comment. It's like one more situation where what he wanted was for me to bring attention to his shitty site, And it's what a lot of these media outlets do is they'll post something like hoping to get a response. And so one of the problems of having a really big platform is that if you do give them a response and you do set the record straight, you drive them a shitload of traffic and you really do them a big favor because that's how they make their money. So, I just chose to take it on the chin rather than help them out. And, and so then, a bunch of people thought that I was just like randomly kicking fucking girls in the face.
There was another story that was really interesting to me. So I flew in the Air Force for 7 years. And before we take off, we'd always have the crew chief come up and do this right here, which meant chalks out. You were actually part of a high-speed abort. I don't know many people part of one. You were part of 2 high-speed aborts in the same night because there's a pin, for people who don't know, in the nose gear for most private jets, there's a pin that actually keeps it locks the brakes, and the brakes won't move. It won't disengage the brakes unless you pull this pin out. And it literally says remove before flight. If you don't remove that before flight, you will take off. The nose gear is going to stay the same, and the tires are going to catch on fire. What exactly happened in your situation?
See, this is why I decided to give this fucking interview, because you've actually read the book and you've got some real world experience, and I knew that we're going to have interesting conversations. So I'm happy that I did this now. So I think it's similar to that, but not the same. So I think this pin was basically in the flaps, so it wouldn't allow the plane to take off. So,
okay. So so there's remove before flight fins that go near the pitot tubes or near the ailerons. In this case, we're talking about the flaps. Yeah. If the flaps don't, oh wow, okay, now I understand.
So now we're high speed.
Yes.
And the reason the brakes got hot is because we had to stop the 75,000 pound fucking plane, right? So like, I think they would have figured it out if it was the brakes, but this was like, we got to speed, we're ready to take off at 140 or whatever we're doing, and the flaps don't go up. And this is a short runway. This is Rifle, I think, in Aspen or whatever, where it's like 7,000 feet, which is pretty close to like the minimum, right? And so we did a high-speed abort the first time, and these fucking idiots didn't figure it out. And then we did the second time, and I think like the brakes finally actually caught on fire, and fucking, it was a whole thing.
Yeah. So what the flaps do is they allow you to take off and land at lower speeds, so you get more lift, but you don't move as fast. And so if you're in a place where there's a lot of obstacles, you could end up crashing into those. So now I totally understand. I didn't know that part, but that's crazy. Yeah. You definitely need those to come up before you're able to move. So 2 high-speed aborts, and then Lindsay Payless, she mentions in the book that you came out eating chips. It didn't even bug you that much.
Well, no, it definitely bugged me. But yeah, she put in there like I was, so fearless and this and that. And I don't know. I don't think it was really that. I think it was more ego. I was just like so embarrassed and irritated by the whole fucking situation that I was just like, I'm not getting off the fucking plane. And Yeah, I don't know. I was just angry.
I'd be angry too, man.
I was just fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And I was like ready to get the fuck out of there too. And so I think like, yeah, I think we ended up having to like fucking stay there and then charter a goddamn plane. It was this whole fucking debacle. But yeah, no, Lindsay was real cool. She was, she never complained. She's always honest. And she was actually one of the few girls that I made famous that was appreciative, you know?
Yeah, she is. She talks about you on her podcast.
Yeah.
Lindsay also mentions that she thanks you for having her one and only threesome, which I thought that was very honest of her to put that in there.
God, I don't know if I remember having a threesome with her. Maybe she's talking about the time when that girl was like hiding while I was fucking her, and that she didn't really know. But it was like kind of funny because this girl that I was dating, she was like, "Oh, I want to watch you fuck another girl," and I was like, "Well, you just watched me fuck all your friends this last weekend, like again?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I wasn't like really like there." I was like, "Okay," and she's like, "I want to like actually like watch," and I was like, "Okay, cool." She said, "But I don't want the other girl to know that I'm there." I was like, all right, well, I have a desk. Like, you could hide under the desk. And so we like made this fort. Well, actually, let me reverse. So she said that, and I had already texted Lindsay to like come over and hook up. And I was actually trying to figure out like how to tell this girl, like, hey, I'm going to fuck Lindsay. And she said that, and I was like, okay, this is perfect. Like, and her one stipulation was that the girl had to be hot with big tits. It's like, okay, great. I was like, yeah, I'll get a girl over here.
Yes,
No
Lindsay
problem.
Payless does qualify. For those of you who don't know, look her up.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, cool. So I built this like fort. So I had this desk. I think I put a picture of in the book, but I don't remember. But anyways, there's like this desk, and I put a sheet over the top of it, or like some kind of comforter or something. And she was like hiding in there, and I was banging Lindsay. And when I finished, I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, how's this girl gonna fucking escape? Because it was like right in. So this was my bed, and then the desk was like right here.
Okay.
And the door was here. So there's, no way for her to escape unless I went around to the shower.
But for those of you on the podcast, the desk is on the opposite side of the room of the door. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to like try and figure out a way to get Lindsay out of bed in order to let this girl escape. And finally she ends up doing that. And then the girl, I don't even know what she was thinking, but she like comes back in like butt naked with 2 glasses of champagne. I was like, you guys want some champagne? Lizzie's like, no, I'm cool. And I was smoking weed, so I was like, it was every ounce of my being like trying not to fucking bust out laughing at how ridiculous this was. And also at just like how cool Lindsay played the whole thing off. Like, here's a fucking girl butt ass naked just randomly in my house with 2 glasses of champagne at like 3 or 4 in the morning, who like was unannounced before, because like Lindsay came in and the house like somewhat dark. I mean, there was like nobody hanging out. So just like some girl randomly appears butt naked like after we've been fucked. It was just like such a crazy thing. And Lindsay brushed it off like it was a fucking maid at noon coming in to like offer a pillow, And I thought that was kind of funny.
She didn't react at all, man.
Stone cold, dude. Didn't like, oh no, I'm cool. Thank you. Like, didn't even ask me about it afterwards. Like the girl leaves and she's like, not even like, why is this naked girl coming in here? Just like offering champagne at 4 a.m.
So I finally saw your public service announcement that you made after the Tannerite.
Court mandated.
It was hilarious, man. I don't know, like, because you're so deadpan, and the very last line in it is, yeah, jail, let's not do that again. It was, for those of you, please check out the PSA that you did. So now, the situation is you're out shooting in the desert, you have an unusually high amount of Tannerite, which is an explosive that you can fire into.
Yeah, so I had done this earlier. So I had done, I'd blown up an RV with a bunch of propane tanks, and then we started doing Tannerite, and I blew up some cars and whatever. But anyways, I was like, okay, let's like really do it this time. I want to do like 100 fucking pounds. And I'd seen people do like 50, I'd seen 25, but I had never seen anybody do 100 pounds. And I think FPS Russia did like 50 pounds on a truck, and like the door came off and literally almost cut him in half. I mean, it was like the craziest thing. And like, I'd seen 25 pounds like level a fucking barn, like a big ass barn. So I was like, I didn't know what 100 pounds would do. And I was initially going to try and do an RV again, but I couldn't find one on Craigslist. So I saw a semi truck, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to buy this semi truck and I'll blow this motherfucker up. So yeah, buy the semi truck, put the Tannerite underneath it. And, we had some failed attempts to some bigger caliber rifles. Long story short, my buddy ended up going down there with a 5.56 and shot it. But he had to get a little closer because the bullet has to be going. I think it's in excess of 2,000 feet per second.
Okay.
Something like that. It's like pretty goddamn fast, right?
And at a certain distance with 5.56 rounds, the muzzle velocity is 2,000 feet, more than that, but it's going to slow down over time.
It slows down. Yeah. So we were at 400 meters and it just wasn't doing it. And so he had to go down a little closer. And when he fucking detonated this cocksucker, I mean, I'm telling you, it looked
that was the actual photo in the book.
Yeah.
It looks like a nuclear explosion in the 1950s in Nevada.
Yeah, I felt like it looked like a Challenger missile taking off because you could see the engine block like fucking going straight up, right? And so anyways, when we finally I ended up going and like seeing the court documents or whatever the fuck it was, the attorney's prosecuting thing, whatever the witness statement. There was a cop that was 7 miles away in the police station. He said he felt it in his chest.
That's evidence. That was turned into evidence. Well, hold on, but you get arrested on the tarmac at LAX.
So this is like a month and a half, I think, later, and this is right after the Nick Ritchie thing or the Miami kicking thing or whatever. And so I had gone to the Bahamas after that whole thing like poured out in the media, and I was like spent a few days in the Bahamas, just chill the fuck out. And then I flew back straight from the Bahamas direct to LAX, and I had that Blue Jay house at the time, and I was living in Vegas, and so I was spending a little bit more time in LA. And I flew in there, and honestly, like I didn't think there was going to be any issue, but when there was, I thought for sure it was related to the Miami thing.
Yeah.
And so when the ATF came and like there was like all these people there and it was, and the guy like puts me in cuffs, like, you know what this is about. I'm like, no, I really don't. Like, why would the ATF like it just I was like, what the fuck? Like
it's been a month.
Yeah, like no, month and a half. Like it was like a while, you know? It's just like you don't even think like in your mind, like why the fuck would you be arrested at LAX by the ATF? You know what I'm saying? Like when you're coming from Miami, it was just a weird, very weird thing. So I just I had no fucking idea until they checked me in and they told me, whatever, I was being arrested on federal bomb making charges.
And you're at LAX, so that then creates a narrative that you're making a bomb for an airplane.
That's the headline. So they're like painting me as a fucking terrorist. I'm like, I'm on my plane, dude. Like I'm not trying to blow up your fucking airlines. Like leave me the fuck alone. I got no explosives on me. Like they just made it seem like I'm at the airport with bombs. That's literally like what every headline. I mean. But that's just so typical of the media, they just want whatever's going to get the clicks. And so, it was what it was.
And you ended up settling with the government and made the PSA. And again,
it was funny, man. Like a YouTube PSA was part of my fucking settlement. Like how fucking crazy is that?
It is fantastic, dude. You were deadpan looking in there. You look annoyed, but at the end, like that little joke at the end just made the whole thing work. It was
well, they wrote it wrong. So I was like supposed to read this and they didn't write, like they fucking had like a spelling error, or they had words mixed up and it like didn't make sense. It's like, what the fuck? Like this is coming from the government that can't even get the goddamn sentences right.
He goes, jail. Let's not do that again. Dude, I was pissed myself. That was really funny. I want to talk about so obviously another part of the lore when it comes to Dan Bilzerian is the women, right? And I obviously I have several friends in common, and I've brought 90 girls to your last party, and a lot of them know you personally. I know, to my knowledge, you don't pay a lot of them or any of them that I know of, but there's all these women, and you mentioned several times in the book, zero effort. You say the word zero effort, and then these girls end up sleeping with you. My first question is, between the fame, the money, and the other women, you talk about pre-selection in the book, which is the idea of women being around a man, making that man more attractive. Which of those three do you think is the most important?
I would say fame is probably the number one sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm.
And then also jealousy.
Jealousy, okay.
Jealousy was a big piece. Like jealousy, which is all kind of like a function of competition, ratio, like all these things. And, but if you were just a point at like one thing, like fame absolutely will get you a lot of pussy because it pre-qualifies you.
Yes.
And when these girls see guys wanting pictures with you, when girls see people, and it's not just girls, it's guys too. Like when you see somebody that is, admired or like people are paying attention to or they feel like is important, it just like triggers things like Clarence talked about in the book. He called it fame brain. It's like one of those things where like whether you choose to acknowledge it or not, like it's going to be subconsciously in your mind that somebody that's famous that has people coming up to them is going to be like a person of higher value. And so women's attraction mechanisms are a little different than men. Like men, it's kind of like, okay, tits, ass, waist, face, like, these are the things, right? Like whatever it is that you care about, like it's purely physical.
Correct.
Like a girl can go down in points to me if she's a fucking idiot or she's obnoxious or whatever, she sucks in bed. There's like all these things that she can go down. But if a girl's really funny or witty, it's not going to make me want to fuck her anymore.
If she makes more money, it doesn't make any difference to you.
Yeah, like maybe dating, but like as far as like actually having sex, it is purely physical.
Yes.
Like whether or not I find them attractive or not is not going to be swayed by how funny she is. That's going to make me want to hang out with her more or date her or whatever. But as far as sticking my dick in her, that is purely a function of her attractiveness,
Yes.
right?
Evolutionary psychology.
Yes,
Yeah.
but with women, there's a lot more factors at play. There's like, can this guy provide for me? Is it safe? Like there's, many things that through evolution have become attraction mechanisms for them. And so, fame basically just kind of like checks a lot of those boxes. And so it's, it's like it's like, oh, the guy's popular. It's like he's, a man of importance. There's just like all these things, right? And so that one was more powerful than I expected it to be. I mean, I knew it was going to be powerful. I just didn't know it was going to be that powerful.
And then the other two things, the money and the pre-selection.
Money is important if you know how to use it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of rich guys that can't get pussy to save their fucking lives.
Right.
A lot of people are like, oh, if I had money, I'd be getting all this pussy. And it's like, it probably wouldn't be, dude. But, it's cool you think that. Like, I know tons of rich guys that can't get laid. Like, and obviously, like, most of your like club business is based on this motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
Like, they go out there, they spend all this fucking money, and they never get laid. And I was just like, I saw this shit from a mile away. I'm like, why do these guys keep fucking doing it? But, they go out and they start drinking, and then, like they want to impress the girls, and the only thing that they know how to do is like lead with that money. And so it's like they get in this habit of leading with money, and the clubs, encourage it, obviously. And so it's like, and then you got their waitresses fucking chucking their fucking drinks, and they just start spending more and more, and the waitress comes up and like, oh, do you want this bottle or do you want to spend this? She's like, and then the guy never wants to look like a cheap ass in front of the waitress, and he's drunk, and it's like, oh, I'll take two of those bottles, whatever. And then he knows if he buys three, the goddamn sparklers comes out. So, well, we don't want to miss the sparklers, It's like these fucking idiots that have spent all this crazy bread, right? And it was just, so that is a perfect example of how to spend money and not get pussy. But like, you can spend money and throw parties, you could, fuck, some of these rich guys, they buy a modeling company. That's a great idea. Just like if you're surrounded by hot girls, you're going to have a better chance of hooking up with hot girls. And you're also going to like create competition, whether or not you're even hooking up with them. If you're just around a bunch of hot girls, I mean, that you're around hot girls all the fucking time, right? If you went to the bar with your dick in your hand, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get laid than if you walk in there with 3 dimes.
It's incredible. Like they'll just come up and talk to you.
Yeah.
Like you said before, women, like there's so many stories in there where women basically telling your friends, I just need to have sex with Dan. I'm here just to have sex with Dan.
Well, there's one story. I mean, that did happen. It didn't happen a crazy amount, but I remember one distinct time when, the girl literally those words, like, I need to have sex with Dan.
The guy was like bartending, but also the thing with Clarence where the girl was like, do you remember what I'm talking about? Where you're up at the cabin?
The cabin?
We'll talk about it later. But
which one?
There was a situation where you told a girl that she had to go down on Clarence, and maybe it wasn't Clarence.
Oh yeah, no, that was numerous times. There was many times when
So you literally told, just so we're clear, you told these girls they had to go down on your friends before they got to have sex with you,
or fuck them, or this or that. Like I would, because Clarence had horrible games. So like one of the things that I would do, like a lot of times, would be like, oh yeah, I'll fuck you if you fuck Clarence, or maybe I'll fuck you, but you got to fuck Clarence first, or whatever. If he says, it's good or whatever, then maybe I'll hook up with you. It was a lot of times I wouldn't even promise. It was just like, you got to fuck him first or something like that. And girls would go in there and like, wake him up, like hitting him in the face with their tits, or like go into his bed naked. And it's just like, it was funny because, he'd like wake up and like kind of like begrudgingly be like, oh, this again, but like I knew that motherfucker still wanted, he wanted to bang him, but he would like kind of like pretend like he wasn't stoked about it. But yeah, it was one of those things where I think also when you do that, the girls are like, what the fuck? They're like, I got to bang this guy to maybe be able to hook up. It's like, I don't know. But it would be like in times when like I literally couldn't hook up with him. Like I like had sex like 4 times or 5 times already, and I was like just couldn't or didn't want to, or like I had another girl or whatever, and it was like, so I'd throw him a bone and get him laid. And I did that with a lot of my friends. My cousin, I got him laid a lot. And a lot of my friends, I would,
So it seems like you pushed. A lot of people. So pre-selection is like an actual term in psychology. You push the limits to that, and there was no end to it. It felt like the more hot girls you were around, the more hot girls came. And you mentioned in the book, it just get like more and more and more until you get to the point where you're on a $300 million yacht with 27 women, and there's a girl who texts you about having a foursome, and you go to bed by yourself because you're miserable.
Well, there's a little more to that story, but yeah. It was one of those things where it wasn't really about pre-selection at that point. It was just about like an overwhelming amount. And so the mistake that I made on that trip is that I took too many girls that I had been dating, right? Like the key is to have like 3, maybe 5 max girls that you're fucking and that you're going to be obligated to fuck on a trip, and then have a bunch of other girls, right? You want new ones. And what I did on that trip, because I didn't want to be stuck with girls that sucked, I didn't want to have a bunch of like wild cards.
Yeah.
So I took girls that I knew were cool, that were hot, and that,
Because you're going to be out there with you for a while.
yeah, right. So I like prioritized like them being cool and them being like known quantities over having a bunch of like new hot pussy, and that was a big mistake. And so I ended up just being like pulled in so many different directions, and I actually like, you know, pissed off more girls. And I didn't really have much sex. I actually had the least amount of sex I'd ever had. Because I like, I don't know, when it's like obligated, or when you feel like, you know, you have to, you kind of don't want to. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like human psychology. Like people want what they can't have. And it's like when things are being forced on you, if you feel like you have to do something, you kind of like subconsciously don't want to do it. And I'm like way more like that than anybody else I know. I've always wanted to do what I'm not supposed to do, and I never want to do what the fuck I'm told. So I don't know. I had a shitty time on that trip. Because I fucked up like the ratio of girls that I had been dating versus new ones, and that was a big mistake. And also I had like just taken it to just an unnecessary level, you know, like I always thought more was better, and it was like up until a certain point, but I actually like reached the point of like not only diminishing returns, but negative returns, you know, where like it started going in the other direction.
Too many girls, all this kind of stuff. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, like what's too many? Like, you know, to me, I'm like, okay, I'm on a trip with 2 chicks, and like now I bring 3 chicks, and it's a much better ratio, because when I'm fucking one, the other 2 can hang out. Whereas when I only have 2 girls and I'm fucking one, the other one's just sitting there with her fucking, you know, her fucking, you know, goddamn book, and she's got nothing to do. And just
okay,
like,
so you're fucking one of them, and the other one's got a book. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, that never happened. But like, I'm just saying, like, what's she gonna do? She's just sitting on the couch, right? Like, well, you know. But whereas if there's 3, then like she could hang out with her friend or whatever. And so like, you know, and then 4 and 5, it like is even better, because then when you're like banging one, like they barely even notice. And so I just figured more. But then like, okay, I mean, and this never happened, but I'm saying like, what if you went to 500?
Yeah, 500
like,
girls.
What the fuck do you do with 500 girls? You have one dick, you can only fuck so much. So it's like, that is an example of like massive excess, where it would just be like too much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but the thing is, you were pushing against the world, and the world wasn't pushing back. If you wanted 500, you'd get 5. I was at some of your parties.
I had them at the parties, and I was miserable. You know, like I was walking around, and it was just like I mean, listen, there was some cool pieces like at the parties, walking around. I mean, listen, I was a fucking normal dude growing up, right?
Yeah.
So like me going to a party and looking around and having all fucking eyes on me, and knowing that I could fuck almost any hot girl in that party was a cool feeling, especially growing up the way I grew up. I mean, that was awesome, right? That was like my dream, beyond my dream. But it was overwhelming, you know? And also I had so many things to think about at these parties too. Like I'm like, you know, pissing all these people off because they can't get in. I've got celebrities fucking texting me. You know, I got fucking Chris Brown bitching because he's like, the guys won't let him up the fucking driveway. Like, you know, fucking Maluma wants to park. Like, you know, it's just like all this shit, right? And so you don't want to piss people off, and you want these good parties, and you want celebrities to have fun. And like, you know, when I would go over to their houses, they would always like treat me with a lot of respect, and like, oh, you know, if you want to use a bedroom, and you know, you can crash here if you want to fuck here. Like, they were really cool with me, and so I wanted to reciprocate that. And I've always kind of wanted to be a good host too. And also, like, when I'm doing something, I want to do it right. And with these parties, like, I always wanted to fucking do it as best as I possibly can, especially since there was like all these people always like talking shit and mad and wanting to see me fail because I'd shut all these motherfuckers out of my parties.
You specifically said like sugar daddies, agents, people like that.
They hated me.
They hated you.
I'm fucking their girls. They can't come to the party. They're like, you know,
there's no way to buy. There's no table service. There's no bottle service. You don't buy your way into a dance party.
Yeah, no. So it was one of those things where like I was pissing off a lot of powerful people that like would never get shunned. You know, I mean, there's a lot of athletes I didn't let in. Like, I mean, there's, you know, probably some big celebrities I didn't know who the fuck they were. You know, like whatever, man. I can't, like, I couldn't field all these calls. Like,
I watched you walking down, getting you with your security, with your getting people in, physically having to get them in.
Yeah.
And your guys, I've always wanted to ask you this. I walk in and the guys have shotguns. Were they loaded?
Oh yeah, man.
They were loaded shotguns, not rubber bullets.
They had fucking AR-15s.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, no, this was like, dude, I was like, I want a show of force.
Yeah.
I was like, I want 70 dudes here with fucking machine guns. Like, I want this fucking place like goddamn Fort Knox.
It felt like Fort Knox, yeah.
Because like there's multiple things of it. Like A, I think it deters people from trying to fuck around. B, it makes it way less likely that there's gonna be fights. C, nobody's pulling a gun at that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're getting fucked up, right? And these are all like ex-special forces guys, you know. So, I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them were like ex-special forces dudes. And so yeah, it was like no fucking around, you know, like I did not want any bullshit. And so a lot of times, like, you know, if you go out with like fucking 9 security guards, you're not going to have any issues,
right?
You know, but if you go out with like fucking one guy, like maybe somebody wants to fucking, you know, test, you know, your security or whatever. It's like, but if you have enough, like people are just like, okay, I'm not fucking around, you know.
You know my favorite party story. It's an earlier party. You had a midget. I'm sorry, there's a word he used. If I say something offensive, I apologize. There's a word in the book. You had a midget fucking 2 girls in the entryway bathroom. And then
listen, I didn't have him doing anything.
Okay.
This motherfucker didn't listen to shit. Okay, this guy was lawless. Not only did he fuck 2 girls in the goddamn bathroom, but he's like chain smoking cigarettes in my living room. Like, you couldn't tell this little motherfucker anything, dude. It was the craziest shit I'd ever seen. And I like went up to him like respectfully. I was like, hey man, like, you know, I'd appreciate it if you know, wouldn't smoke in the house. And he was like, kind of like looked at me like, fuck off, you know, whatever. And then like went back to smoke. And I told my security, I'm like, get this motherfucker out of here. You know, like
there is nothing funnier to me than seeing, because I didn't know it was you who went up and talked to him, that he's sitting there smoking cigarettes and you tell him, hey man, can you please stop smoking in the house? And he's like, this little midget's like, fuck off.
Basically like, go fuck. Like, he didn't say go fuck yourself. Like, I think he like kind of like put it down, but then like as soon as I walked off, he like went back to smoke, and I like told my security, I was like, put this motherfucker in a trash can and kick him down the fucking driveway. Like, come on. Like, you know, it was ridiculous. And he had already started a fight, like I said in the beginning, you know, because there was like limited bathroom space.
So wait, he's fucking 2 girls. And somebody else comes in and films him.
So he's fucking 2 girls. One of the girls that was waiting for the bathroom, like, tries to get in. Like, I guess the door was unlocked. I don't know what the fuck the deal was, but she like cracked it, saw him fucking the 2 girls, thought it was hilarious, obviously because it was, took out her camera and started filming. One of the girls saw and fucking went crazy, and there was literally like a fight. You know, and so this midget retires from my couch to smoke cigarettes while these girls are like fucking battling in the house. And I was just like, this is just so fucking absurd. Like, what? Like, half of me like was impressed with this guy, but the cigarettes, like, fuck him, man.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So I have a unique experience, a unique perspective. You have obviously thrown your parties, but you've never gotten into one of your parties, and I have, and it is madness, man. Going through the line, you know, getting checked in. I had a guest list with Bianca Gezzi on the second one. The first one was a girl named Brianna. Yep. Put the whole list in there. Bianca, like, they're very strict. The later party, they're very strict. The girls I was bringing, they're like, well, you can't bring this girl, this girl, this girl.
Oh, we
whatever.
vetted them. Yeah, it was crazy,
and I appreciated that. I thought that was really awesome. Shout out to Bianca if she's watching this. And then we go in there, and it's like living in an Instagram post, which I imagine a lot of your life is like. Bruce Buffer walks by me, and then I see JaVale McGee, and then I see Devin Booker walk by me, and then I'm sitting in your living room, and granted it's a big living room, but it's a living room, and I'm watching Cardi B 6 feet in front of me performing. She gets off. And then I've never seen what Sway Lee looks like at this point. He gets on, he starts rapping, and I'm sitting here with Sway Lee, and I'm in a living. It's still a house. This is, even though it's a gigantic house, it's still a house. I'm in a living room. I can't believe this. I look to my right, I see Diplo drinking a beer with a cowboy hat on, and it's just like the surrealness. And then of course, goes without saying, every single Instagram model without exception was there, and I saw them and met them, and that part was just like, to me, was mind-boggling. Also, you know, I brought 90 girls to your house. You were doing me the favor because any girl I asked, they all said yes. You know, I showed up with 45 girls with me and Sam Rima. We showed up with 45 girls, and it was like we were trying to get in behind another group of like hundreds of girls. Can you talk about that house was on Shallon Road was pretty incredible for throwing parties, and the idea to throw those type of parties with these huge musical artists.
Yeah, so I'd been throwing parties in LA since, man, probably like 2012. I started with like some pool parties that I would throw at this house I was renting from Richard Gere. And, I would do the ratio then. It was like 300 girls and 30 guys or whatever. And we would have the masseuses and the mani-pedis and the fucking champagne and all the shit. So it was like, it was a cool place. You know, girls wanted to tan. They wanted to hang out. They wanted to get their nails done, whatever. And the guys didn't even fucking pay attention to their girls. There was like so many of them. So the girls got to hang out and they didn't get fucked with, you know? And that was the environment that I wanted to create, is that girls could come there. They could be safe. Guys aren't going to be fucking hitting on them, chicken hawking all these fucking girls and whatever. And they could drink champagne. They can get their nails done. They can have a massage, whatever. They can go home. And like nobody harasses them, you know? And as far as the guys go, if they want to get pussy, it's like they're getting attacked. So, you know, and so that was what I wanted to create. I wanted to create a situation where like everybody was happy there. And I found the best way to do that was with that ratio. And so
it was 7-1 was what you said in the book.
That was right? Like the minimum.
Minimum.
That was the minimum I wanted. And so,
which is why the agents and the other people that normally get invited to everything in Hollywood don't get invited to your party.
Yeah, fuck them. That was... That was the goal. I wanted to throw the best parties, and to me, the best parties was ones that had an absolutely disproportionate amount of girls.
Yes.
That being said, for the girls, you have to offer them something, right? So for them, I wanted Cardi B performing, I wanted Sway Lee performing, I wanted fucking Tyga on the mic. Like I wanted all these people. And so I would tell them, you know, I'd say, hey, Tyga, you know, you fucking, you know, can you get up there and throw down a few songs? Like you could have one of the fucking guest rooms. You can park up the top. Like I always took care of those people, you know. And he was always cool. He'd always like, you know, fucking grab a few of my girls, you know. I was like, but I had to replace them, you know, it was the whole thing. But it was cool, man. It was like it was one of those things where I had Cirque du Soleil performers.
Yes.
I had like, you know, I had all this shit because I wanted the girls to be entertained. You know, I'd have the gay guys in there. You know, I'd have, you know, I just wanted it to be an environment where the girls weren't looking around like, what the fuck am I doing here? So in order to create that, you have to have like some, you know, big talent. And then you also want to have a bunch of celebrities because, you know, a lot of those girls, you know, they're stoked to be around celebrities. So if you have the other hot girls, you have celebrities, you've got good performances, you've got shit going on, you've got good catering, you've got top shelf booze, like everybody's going to be stoked, and it's exclusive. It's hard to get in. And so that's what I wanted to create. And so when I went back to LA, when I decided that I was going to start Ignite, I'd gotten rid of my Blue Jay house.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, we're going to make some fucking noise here. And I was interested in buying Playboy. They just wanted too much money for it. So I raised some money and I started looking for houses, and then I raised the money afterwards once I found the house. And it was just unequivocally the house, man. I looked at that thing. I was like, this is fucking bulletproof.
You said it looked like a freight. You said it looked like a cruise ship buried into the side of a hill.
A beach ocean liner.
A beach ocean liner, yes. And it definitely does.
It really did, man. It had like all the fucking blue lighting, and it was just, dude, it took up half the fucking mountain in Bel Air. And I just saw this thing and I was like, this is the house. Like unequivocally, this is
like
the
a football field worth of AstroTurf up on the top.
Dude, it was enormous, and it was literally set up exactly to throw parties.
Yes.
That was the only thing that house is good for, is like throwing parties and getting laid. And that is what I came back to LA to do, and that's what I did. And so I branded it, and I threw them the best way I could, and I think it was fucking amazing, man. I don't know that anybody's ever replicated a party like this.
No. So I was Crystal Hefner used to invite me to, we used to host a bikini competition together, and I went to Playboy party and I met you, the Playboy Midsummer Night's Dream party, and I met you there one time. Yep. And those parties are great and they're iconic and the ratio is incredible and the girls are really pretty. But what I saw at your place was, I mean, I'm watching you get drinks with Machine Gun Kelly to your left, and I think Jake Paul was to your right. And I'm just like, you're just like living in, I don't even know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even in, by the way, I'll tell you, even in the book, while this is one of the best books, probably one of the most entertaining and definitely one of the most honest books I've ever read in my life. The thing is, even being there, it still doesn't even encapsulate how incredible like those whole experiences are.
Well, I always, with everything in the book, I tried to understate, you know?
Yeah.
Like the vignettes, I think like paint a little bit of a crazier picture because that's from other people. But for me, I like always erred on the side of like understating whatever, because I felt like I almost had to like downplay it a little bit to make it believable, because people just, unless they had been there and experienced it and seen it, it's like hard for people to process. And I think, there's just a lot of guys that are like, there's no way that he's doing this without paying for the girls. And it's like, dude, I don't give a fuck, man. I have plenty of money. Like, it would be much easier for me to pay for the girls, and I'm not like, this isn't a pride thing. It's not an ego thing. Like, my life would be better, more fulfilled, and probably more entertaining if I just paid for hookers to fuck me. Like, but for me, I couldn't get, I mean, don't get me wrong, I fucked hookers, but the attraction was not the same as if a girl really wanted to fuck me. And so whatever, man, like, I paid the price for that. Like, I lost a lot of time,
right,
interacting with those girls and having to maintain relationships and talking to them and whatever.
And this is part of the setup. When you talk about the setup was, how do I get to where I have to put zero effort into getting whatever women I want? And then also the setup was, like you said before, how do I become famous? You used Instagram. You talk about Instagram being minimal effort, or showing low amount of effort without looking like bragging.
So the setup is all about figuring out what you want and then figuring out how to get it.
Yeah.
Right. And so with the Instagram, it's like, okay, I wanted to get laid with less effort. I wanted to become famous. I want to see what that was like. Like, I want to climb a different mountain. That was the mountain I want to climb. How am I going to go about doing that? So I set that up. Right. So, like, with whatever it was, with the poker, my goal was to make the most amount of money possible in poker. So I set up, my image, the games that I got into, the whole thing. Like,
you wanted to look rich, and you wanted to look like a trust fund kid.
I want to look as rich as humanly fucking possible, because it would help me win more money and have those people feel better about losing it.
Okay.
And so whatever it was that I wanted, I just, figured out the optimal way to set up my life to get it. And it's not that, there would be less effort. A lot of times I would put in more effort. I would just front load it. I would put the effort into, like, setting up the situation. Like, dude, throwing one of those parties is a fucking pain in the ass. It's a lot of work. But once that party was thrown, I would get so much fucking pussy for months and months. Like, I couldn't handle it. Like, I literally couldn't fuck all the girls that wanted to fuck me, not just at the party, but then afterwards, right? And so and then that pays dividends. And then because all those girls want to hook up with me, and girls would DM me, I wouldn't even fucking respond. I never hit up girls, like, all this shit. So, like, the word got around, and the stuff snowballs. It's kind of like in college. Like, if you fuck one girl really good at a sorority, she's going to tell all her sisters, friends, and then you can fuck the whole house, right? Like, so there's a lot of these things where you put the work in earlier, you did things right and set it up, and then it pays dividends. So, that was kind of, that was the big premise of the book, is like, figure out what you want and then how to get it.
So Clarence, whose name has changed, that's not his actual name. He does have a footnote in the book where he talks about noticing you becoming famous. Clarence said he wanted to become famous, and then he saw with you can never turn it off, and then he decided he didn't really want it.
I think he still wants to be famous.
He still wants to be famous.
I think he says he doesn't, but I think he still does, man. But he had some really good vignettes, man. He did two that were super insightful, and I think he had a very unique perspective, because he saw me before, and he saw me through it, and he saw, basically, like, the whole thing. He saw the whole spectrum. He saw, because I was getting a lot of pussy before I was famous, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And, like, he saw that, but he saw this, how I would get pussy afterwards. Like, it was situations where it was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, two chicks I just met sucking my dick in front of a van full of fucking people, what I mean? Without even, like, speaking words to them. They didn't even speak, just like.
And their boyfriend was following them.
Yeah, with the boyfriend in tow.
Because one of the girls had the apartment keys.
Yeah, he couldn't get it. Yeah,
he couldn't get into the apartment.
I mean, bro, like, just so many crazy things. But that's just, like, one example. I mean, he saw. And obviously he saw all the girls that I would, tell, like, fuck Bill first or what. I would send naked girls in him all the time. Like, and so he just saw this, and he saw the power of it. And I think he was, like, pretty mesmerized. And it was, like, also, like I said, he was, like, kind of off when he had just gotten his divorce too. So it was very well timed.
Right.
And we were on a yacht, and he was just getting all the pussy he could handle and then some. And so he got a look behind the curtain, and I think he had a unique appreciation for it. But he, like I said, he also had a really good perspective, and he did a really good vignette in there, and he had some interesting references that I thought really depicted it well.
Well, I think another part of this book is there's this whole nightclub, Instagram, EDM era that's happened over, like, the last 10 years. And I think this documents that whole era a lot, because, you talk about Steve Aoki, and you talk about clubs paying you to go to places. And part of the Instagram, which was the biggest platform in the entire world, you were an integral part of that. So, like, honestly, I feel like this kind of documents that whole era, not just your life.
Yeah, it was a very interesting time, man. I honestly didn't think that Instagram was going to continue like it has. It's taken over the fucking world.
Yeah,
man. It's like they've hacked your brain and they've figured out ways to give you that intermittent positive reinforcement, and it secretes dopamine and it's addictive, and it's something that, you know, people, they get hooked on this attention, and they get hooked on the likes, and they get hooked on, you know, people telling them good things. And then also on the flip side of it, it's like the world's best dating app. I mean, if you want to get laid, you do a post, and then all these girls are now thinking about you, they're texting you. And I talk about this in the book. That does a very integral shift, because now you've got girls chasing you as opposed to you reaching out to them. And I don't think people understand how important that is.
Yeah.
When a girl is pursuing you versus you reaching out to them, in their mind, very different things are happening. When you're pursuing them, they're looking at you like, okay, like, do I want to hook up with this guy? Like, what's wrong with him? Like, they're looking at all the negatives. When they're pursuing you, they're like, oh, why isn't he texting me back? Like, does he not find me attractive? They're questioning themselves. It's literally night and day.
Yeah.
Right. And so
you mentioned they put you in a scene where you're supposed to hit on Cameron Diaz, and you're like, I don't hit on girls, so I don't really know how to do this.
No, that was funny, man. I totally imploded. It was for the movie The Other Woman.
Yeah.
And Nick Cassavetes put me in there, and it was funny, man. I think I told the story pretty well in there.
Yeah.
It was an interesting moment, because
he expected you to be some like Lothario womanizer Casanova, and instead you were just like, no, they chase me because of the setup that I have in my life.
Well, he had been on vacations with me, where we had taken a bunch of girls down to Cabo, and I'd fucked almost the entire lot of them. And so he had seen it. He had seen it firsthand, the girls competing and just like the debauchery. And when you see something like that, you're like, okay, this guy gets tons of pussy. Like, he's going to be the smooth talking, whatever. And like, I didn't have terrible game. It's not like I couldn't talk to girls, but I wasn't it just wasn't my approach. Like, I wasn't the guy. Like, I did that in college. Like, I went up to a bunch of girls and I would hit on them and whatever. But it wasn't so much hitting on them, because I found hitting on them was very counterproductive.
Yes.
So I would invite them to do things. Like, I would say, hey, you know, we're having this party. Do you want to come out? We're going out on the boat. You know, do you want to come wakeboarding? I would invite them to things. There would be other girls there. There wouldn't be the real pressure of interaction. And then, you know, you'd end up hooking up at some point. And it was kind of like very casual interactions, subtle stuff. It wasn't the blatant hitting on them. And they wanted, you know, because Hollywood, they paint this unrealistic picture of what is effective with women. They tell you, hey, hit on a girl, tell her how great she is, kiss her ass, do everything she wants to do. All the things you're not supposed to do, Hollywood tells you to do. So, you know, this was another example of like, they want you to like aggressively hit on some fucking random girl at the bar, which almost never works.
Right.
Like, almost never works.
If it does, she was already ready to go home with someone, or you had something else going for you, like the pre-selection, the money, the fame, something else like that.
Yeah, but in movies, they show it working.
Yeah, the movie Swingers ends with the main character walks into a bar, sees the hottest girl he's ever seen in his life. They get together, and I'm just like, she'd be on her phone. The fuck is this? This would never happen in a million years. And I always thought it was like damaging.
Yeah, it's just, they just perpetuate this nonsense. And yeah, they're like, oh, you know, can I buy you a drink? You're so pretty. Like, it's just, that's bullshit, man. That doesn't work. That's bad. It's counterproductive. It's a terrible game. And so anyway, so he wanted me to basically, you know, hit on this girl. And I don't hit on girls. I don't do the cheesy pickup lines. That doesn't work. So I didn't really have... And he wanted me to like improvise, and I'm just like, man, this is not my thing. Not to mention, like, Cameron Diaz was looking at me like she wouldn't fuck me in a million years, which like mentally threw me off a little bit too, you know? So, yeah. And plus she was like way taller than me.
Yeah.
I mean, she's my height, but she had like 5-inch heels on. So she's like 6'2", and Nick's like fucking 6'6". So I felt like a midget asshole. And then when Nick recommended they put boosters in my shoes, it just like totally fucked me up, dude.
Yeah, that would mess with me
like,
too. Yeah.
God damn it, you know? But yeah, man, it's all learning experience, dude. I thought the movies were very eye-opening. You know, like Tom Cruise made a comment and he got roasted about it, where he said that acting is harder than being in the military, and people went fucking crazy about it. And I'm like, motherfucker, I've done both. Like, I literally like did the hardest training in the fucking military there is. And for me, I think acting is harder, you know, whatever, fucking
it's
sue
a
me.
unique talent. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, you know, maybe some guys it comes fucking natural, but like, you know, when you snap your fingers and you're supposed to just like fucking be a totally different person, you know, in a scene that doesn't feel real to you, that's difficult. And the camera picks up everything, you know, so if you don't believe it, it doesn't come across. And so it's
harder because for some people it's impossible.
Yeah.
That's what makes it harder. Whereas with the military, some of those things are impossible also, but you try harder. You follow directions. You get more discipline. With acting, it's just like one of these things, because I took acting classes for about 18 months, and I just remember seeing these people who could just become someone else and be broken, like become sad, very broken. And I'm not sad and broken. I don't know how to do that. That was the part that I think makes it difficult. You don't know how to be this guy who hits on women.
Yeah. I mean, you're also very comfortable on camera too. So you probably you would probably have an easier time because that's like your job. It's what you do. You're like, you know, I always see you fucking hosting with a mic, like, you know, happy, smiling, very comfortable, all this shit. 99% of guys couldn't do that.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we're not even just talking about that. We're talking about that. And then add on, you have to be somebody else in that moment, believe that and sell that. And so, yeah, it's tough, man. Like it took me a little while to get comfortable on camera. It's not a natural thing. It's like, you know, all these people looking at you. Also, that's another reason why I think like this generation has a lot of anxiety, is because they're not thinking about like them being in that moment. They're thinking about like, how are other people perceiving me? Like, what are people going to think? And that's why I think a lot of people have a hard time doing like the podcast and stuff like that, is because in their mind, they start getting fucked up. I saw it with Bob Menery. He was, you know, in his earlier podcast, I could just tell like he wasn't that comfortable. And then as people started talking shit, saying, you know, stuff to him, I could tell it was fucking with him. And then because that's fucking with him, it's like starts compounding, right? Because now he's not just thinking about that, but he's like, oh, fuck, like, am I looking stupid? Like, you know, all this stuff. And when you get into that mindset, when you like get into that frame, automatically you're fucked.
Yeah, you're stuck in your own head, right? Instead of being in the present moment, which I think a lot of the things that you do, the jumping out of the helicopter, that's a present moment thing. That's not something I'm going to do this later. It's just you're in the moment. A lot of the things, the wakeboarding, the surfing, even being with the girls, is a lot of present moment stuff that you do, which I think is pretty awesome. You mentioned Denzel Washington a couple times in the book, who I'm a huge fan of. He was in The Equalizer. He kills you in The Equalizer. Yeah. If you guys go back and watch it, I didn't know that he killed you. I remember I texted you right after I saw that. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. He had a quote in there.
It was a good death.
It was a good death. It was a very good death. He has a quote, and I actually expected to see it in the book, but I didn't. But I thought this really relates to you. Denzel Washington says, you'll never be criticized by someone who is doing more than you. You'll always be criticized by someone doing less. Remember that. And then I start thinking about the Nick Ritchie stuff. I start thinking about the stuff where people come after you about the trust fund stuff, about how well you are playing poker. And I noticed in your book, you don't do the same thing. And you have the photo of you and Donald Trump is in there, but there's not a word about Biden. There's not a word about Trump. You don't get political in there. And I thought that was really interesting that you don't, like you said before, Sam said, don't talk shit about other people while you're at this house.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Biden's a fucking train wreck, but I just didn't think that it had a place in the book. Right. I mean, I'm not one of those guys that don't talk shit. I will talk shit, but I will talk shit to the person's face, and I will say it very openly, and I'm not going to be like a behind the back type of guy. I'm pretty open about my opinions. It's just I didn't think it had a place in the book. I think, look, as far as Trump goes, I mean, he's loved, he's hated, he's extremely polarizing. I don't know him well enough to judge him, but what I can say is that he's done one thing that was really fucking good, and that's bring attention to the false media and the false, like press that's going out there. And I think like when I was growing up, I believed everything that I read that was from the press, because I'm like,
when you and I were growing up, they didn't have a motivation to make up so many different narratives like they do now. I think a lot more of it was true back then.
It's very political. I mean, you watch CNN and it's like literally watching propaganda. Like you're not getting like I feel like back when we were growing up, it was more, they took pride in being unbiased. They took pride in like giving the real story. I mean, I'm sure there was bullshit back then, but I don't think it's to the extent that it is now. But I just I look at a lot of what's going on right now and I kind of shake my head because I understand it. It's like all this stuff is about control. And one thing that I do know is that when you give your government more control, they never give it back. Once more laws are passed, I mean, they're almost never repealed. So they start chipping away at freedoms and and some things that people don't feel like are important, start to compound, right? And it's like, maybe this one single freedom isn't that big of a deal. Maybe this one single freedom isn't that big of a deal. But when you put them all together and you continue to chip away, eventually you're in a spot like, look at California, for instance. Like, you can't own a gun out there, I mean, without it being illegal. You can't have a magazine capacity. You can't have this. You can't have that. And so you look at that and you're like, do I need a 30-round magazine? Probably not. Do I need a fucking, pistol grip on a gun? Probably not. Like, any one of those little things isn't probably that big of a deal. I mean, they're all bullshit.
Right.
But like, any one of them isn't that big of a deal. But when you compound them and you have all these different fucking stipulations, now you literally can't have any goddamn guns.
Yeah.
Every gun that I have is illegal in California, barring a 1911.
Right.
Right. So it's like, yeah, any one of those one things in a vacuum wasn't that big of a deal, but when you put them all together, it becomes a huge fucking deal.
That was actually my next transition. Is that the reason why? Because you've always been a resident of Nevada, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have
not always, but since 2009.
Got it. So it's the house, the house at Shallon Road. You don't have that house anymore. Was that part of this whole thing where you saw the government sort of like taking over some control?
No, that was actually, so I paid $5 million for the option to buy the house.
Yeah.
We set the strike price at $60 million. It was listed for $90, which was a pretty fucking good deal. I always thought that either Ignite was going to buy it or we were going to buy it and flip it. I always thought there was, big value in the house because it was kind of a, one-off. I mean, there was, if you wanted, like, I looked at what the Playboy Mansion was sold for, and it was like a piece of shit house, and it was sold for some crazy number. And I figured we could do that same thing with this Chalon house. And so that was the reason that I paid for the option, and then we rented it for $200,000 a month, and it made total fucking sense. We got absolute huge value out of it. But then when COVID hit and everything was locked down, we're getting no value. And, to me, I was like, fuck, I don't think people are going to continue to live in California, all these laws and all this other shit. So in the owner of the house, he wanted to sell it. So it's like, okay, fine, let's try and sell it. He had like blocked us a couple times on selling it. And he was like, oh, it's gonna be really hard to sell it with you in it. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, if I leave and we sell it, like, I get a piece of the upside and then we get the $5 million option back. He's like, okay, cool. Fucking guy then moves in the Wish guy who's renting the house. And I'm like, what the fuck was the point of that? Like, like, now we can't sell the house, and I don't have the fucking benefit of it, even though I paid the fucking option. It was very irritating. We're actually in a lawsuit with the guy now because of that. But yeah, I mean, you can't have somebody pay $5 million for the option and then block them on exercising that option, which is what he did. Because we had a buyer previous to that, and he kind of like blocked the sale, which was, whatever, fine. But then, when you have me move out so we can sell it, and then you move somebody else in, I thought that was kind of fucked. He's basically just like stealing my fucking option money, which is pretty irritating.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of parties at that house now. I mean, they're not quite the same though.
Right, every fucking TikToker and their mother is invited. It's like so strange, man. And then he put these big ugly Wish stickers all over. I mean, there's just so many people that try and copy me and they fail because they're trying to copy. And I feel like nobody wants to see a fucking copy. They want to see like, something unique, something, everything that I did was like, I was kind of pioneering it,
Yeah.
I was doing it. I was the first guy to do it. And I was like, one of the first guys to kind of like be flexing on social media and doing all that shit and putting it out there. And it worked, but it worked because it was authentic. Like, I was fucking every one of those girls that I was fucking posting. I mean, not like, in group pictures, I'm not banging every chick, but I'm saying like any chick that I posted and tagged, like I was,
of course,
it was, to me, it was unauthentic, like for instance, that girl, Hannah, I talk about in the book, when she came out to Hawaii and she had a boyfriend or whatever. One of the reasons that I actually wanted to fucking bang her is because like I had a good picture with her and I looked ripped in them.
Yeah. I remember this picture. Yeah.
I refused to post it unless I fucked her, But yeah,
that's a really good. Now I understand. I didn't understand that before. Is she in the photo? Now there was a photo you said IG asked you to take down. It is you're in the hot tub with Katie Bell and Hannah Palmer and some other. Was that the one that they asked you to take down? How does Instagram ask you to do something? I'm curious.
So I had a guy there that was kind of like my contact. So if I had any issues or whatever, and then if there was a post that they wanted to delete, they would just hit me up and be like, "Hey, can you take this down?" And then I would just take it down. And that helped preserve my account. Unfortunately, the guy quit, and so I don't have anybody now at Instagram. So anybody got a contact?
Anybody from Instagram, shout out, hit us up right now.
Exactly. No, but yeah, that was the issue there. They just basically, because they started becoming more and more strict about their guidelines, and so I don't know why that photo was against because I blurred the nipples out, but whatever, it was irritating because it was like literally one of my like best engaged. I think I put the stats in the book.
Yeah, you said it was the most engaged photo that you had.
It was crazy. It had like millions of shares. Like, I don't think people understand, like, when millions of people, like, if they either, that's them sending it to somebody or posting it on their story, like, to get millions of shares is pretty goddamn strong.
Yeah. Millions of likes is hard. Millions of shares is fucking incredible.
That's what I'm saying. It was like, and if you looked at like how many people had seen it, it was like 70 million or some shit, So it was just like, you look at a lot of these accounts, like the fake ass Nike account, and they like bought like 150 million followers, but they can't get like more than a couple million views in their videos. And it's like the Ignite account has better engagement than the Nike account, or sorry, the Ignite account has better engagement than the Nike one. And it's just interesting to see that, and I think my following is very underrepresented because there's a lot of guys that have my notifications on that aren't actually following me. So when I do these posts, that's why a lot of my videos are getting, 40 million, 30 million fucking views, and The Rock is getting like 6. It's because I think there's a lot of guys watching that maybe can't actually be following. So
what do you think about how Instagram changed? A lot of the girls that became popular because they were in your photos or just in that whole scene or went to your parties, a lot of these girls are now suspended for the same things that they were doing in 2016. Exact same things. Accounts are getting deleted because of that.
I mean, I think it's kind of like what OnlyFans was gonna do.
Yeah.
And I think it's like turning your back on the people that made you.
Okay.
And I think that kind of irritates your base, right? Not only is Instagram not paying any of their creators, which I think is kind of fucked up and greedy, but now they want to like start restricting things that got the person, famous and got the platform famous. I mean, let's be honest. Like, if it wasn't hot chicks on Instagram, nobody probably would have given that.
That is correct. That has been my point all along. Yeah.
So to me, it's like a lot of hypocrisy, but I think big tech is like super hypocritical, and they take these stances where it's like, my way or the fucking highway. And, it's not going to be equal on both sides. It's going to be like, this clear bias. Like, we're going to allow the Taliban to have a fucking Twitter account, but not the president. Like,
right.
I don't know, man. Like, a lot of that stuff just really doesn't sit right with me, especially because I truly believe that Trump made fucking Twitter relevant again. Like, who the fuck gave a shit about Twitter before fucking Trump was on there? Like,
That's
it was
an interesting
dying goddamn platform. He literally like single-handedly fucking saved the whole platform. Like, it was Trump's tweets that like made that fucking platform relevant. I mean, Twitter is fucking stupid. Like, nobody cares about Twitter. But then he was on there saying all this wild shit, and then people like started engaging with it, and then they fucking banned the guy. I mean, I just thought it was like so ridiculous,
Yeah, that is. I mean, that part got kind of crazy. Where I don't know if you're aware, but there was the Supreme Court. There was a guy that Donald Trump tried to block. And the Supreme Court stated that because Donald Trump tried to block him on Twitter, they were violating his First Amendment rights. So the POTUS account is not allowed to block any people on there. But then this whole thing happened with Twitter. It's just one of these interesting situations where like I can't tap your phone unless I get a warrant because the phone company is a public utility. But Instagram is big enough now to affect elections. They're big enough to make people think the fucking earth is flat. There are people who think the earth is flat. Yeah. There's big enough to think of all these different conspiracies, but they're not a public utility.
But by the way, they don't fact check that.
What do you mean? Oh, of course.
Like, we're going to fact check fucking, everything except the earth being flat. Like, that's something that's like just obviously clearly provable.
Right.
Like, my friends have been in space. They've seen space. They've shown me pictures, videos. Like, I've seen the earth. Like, I've traveled the earth. I've on my plane, like I talked to my pilots, they know the earth has a fucking curvature because they fly certain flight paths that if it was flat, they couldn't fly, right? Like they're flying over the poles sometimes. So like, it's unequivocal that the earth is round, but why the fuck aren't they fact checking that? Like why do they just pick and choose what they're going to fact check? And then I don't know, man, like these masks, like the masks, I think are just total bullshit. They've proven that these like cloth masks do not prevent the transmission. Like they don't. Like the KN95s and N95s, they can, but yet they're like insisting that you wear like a fucking bandana around your face. I mean, it's just like nonsense.
One of the things I thought was dangerous was both parties, Donald Trump not wearing a mask at all. And then we got to a point where Joe Biden had a mask that went all the way up to it. Do you remember this big blue mask? And he's on a stage by himself and he's wearing this gigantic blue mask. And what I thought was dangerous about that was now for me to let me know I support you, I got to wear that mask, which means if I don't support you, then I'm not going to wear a mask. And now we've made health decisions based on, regardless of what the truth is, we made health decisions based on political ideology.
They've completely divided our country in record time.
Yeah.
I mean, in record time. They've made people more racist. They've made everything. I mean, they're basically like reintroducing segregation. I mean, they say they care about black lives. They don't give a fuck about black lives. Like, so many fucking black people died in Chicago. Nobody gives a fuck about that. They only care about it when it like fits their narrative. And it's like, then they want to be like, oh, well, voting is racist because black people aren't smart enough to get an ID. Like, what the fuck is that, man? And then in New York, like 70% of blacks are not vaccinated. And so now they can't go into like places of business. Like, how the fuck is that not segregation against black? You know what I mean? Like, it's only when it's convenient for their fucking narrative that they like push this stuff. And then it's just like all this virtue signaling, like all these black squares, all this bullshit. It's like, listen, man, like if you're actually fucking, you know, upset about something, then fine, like no worries. But stop with this like sheep mentality where like everybody has to do something or like, you know, like if you don't do this, then you're racist. Like they're just trying to like just divide. And I see it and it's just so ridiculous. Like they're teaching black kids that, you know, they're oppressed. It's like black people are not fucking oppressed. Man, like all my fucking black friends are thriving. Like this country has embraced black culture more than anywhere else in the fucking world. Like, you know, the highest paid musician is fucking, you know, African-American, black, whatever you want to call it. The highest paid actor, The Rock, black. You know, just like every single golf, you know, boxing, every single thing. You turn around, even F1 racing, like all of it. So, you know, if it's so fucking biased, then why are these people succeeding, you know? And they want to like point at poverty, but there's twice as many white people in poverty as there are blacks. So it's not a poverty issue. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's all just nonsense, but they're starting to figure it out. Like, you know, these basketball players are like, I've had COVID and I have the antibodies. Like, you're not going to force me to get this fucking vaccine.
Right. Yes, you're talking about Andrew Wiggins and Kyrie Irving, who said they're not going to get the vaccine.
And they articulated it so well.
Yeah.
Like, they made really, really good fucking speeches. If only our president could speak like that. I mean, it was really impressive to me how they broke it down. And it's like, I don't know how you argue with that. It was just so well put, you know? And so, look, I got the vaccine because I wanted to travel.
Right.
And also because I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I think the chances that I have an issue with severe COVID might be higher than the chances that I have an issue with this vaccine.
And the math shows that, yeah.
So to me, it was like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to do it.
Sure.
My doctor recommended it, so I did it. But like the more they kind of like try and silence people that speak out against it, the more they don't open up a platform for people to like freely talk about this stuff, the more worried I get. Because if you're trying to silence people, like who like look at the dictatorships that have tried to silence the people, like Hitler, Mao, Stalin, like all these people, like, you know, they start taking away the free speech. I mean, this should be a democracy where it's open dialogue.
Yeah. You
can have an opinion, I can have an opinion, we can discuss that. You can sway me, I could sway you, but not like only one side can speak and the other side we're trying to silence, deplatform them, like censor this, censor that. It's like, that's not freedom. I mean, dude, our First Amendment, number one, freedom of speech. Like there's a reason why that's number one.
Yes. And also, for those of you who don't know, like every police officer and everyone who swore into the U.S. military, you say, I swear to serve and protect the Constitution of the United States of America. So for us, it's one of these things where like the First Amendment, like you said before, like that's what we fought for. There's something you brought up before. So let's talk about the Second Amendment real quick. I really like that you brought this up because I'm from Texas and I lived in a neighborhood that was pretty safe. And the gun ownership in that neighborhood was really, really, really high, as you might imagine. And then you talked about in Chicago where there's an individual handgun ban in places like that and in Baltimore and I believe in Washington, D.C. And you said crime goes up in those places. I thought that was a really interesting point.
Yeah, you look at every single place where they have the strictest gun control and there's like the most crime.
Yes.
Right. And so if I'm a criminal and I'm debating if I'm going to break into a house, am I going to break into Farmer John's house who probably has 4 fucking shotguns over the mantle, or am I going to break into fucking this liberal asshole in LA where if I hurt myself on his fucking counter, I can sue him? You know, like where am I going to go? I'm going to go to fucking LA. I'm going to break into the guy with the fucking Prius's house and I'm going to steal his shit and probably sue him afterwards and win. I mean, so it's one of those things where there's like a legitimate deterrent, you know? And a lot of these criminals, like, they don't give a fuck about any of this stuff. It's just like the Taliban. Like, they respect power.
Yes.
You know, they respect somebody that's going to like stand up to them, and anybody else they're going to run over. It's bully mentality, right? So, you know, if people are fucking packing and they're willing to defend themselves, this criminal is going to choose somebody that can't, you know? And so I think arming people is important. I mean, not like arming them, but allowing them to arm themselves, allowing them to protect themselves, you know? And that's why that's the fucking Second Amendment. There's a reason why these were like 1 and 2.
Yes.
You know, this wasn't fucking number like 37. This wasn't number fucking 533. This is number 1 and number 2. And they're number 1 and number 2 for a reason.
Right. Right.
You know, we are, you know, Joe Rogan made a good point. Like, we are the first country that has like actually like thrived on free, you know, our government has been like founded by the people. This is like the first actual free nation. You know, all these other ones are dictatorships, the this, the that. And we have fucking smoked everybody. Like, we've got, you know, the best fucking music. We got the best entertainment. We've got the best, you know, actors. We've got the best in all these categories. Like, the U.S. is crushing it. And it's because freedom. It's because the ability to like go out there and do what you want to do and pursue, you know, what you want to pursue. And it's because we've set up this democracy, and it's, you know, it's important, and freedom is the cornerstone of that. And so I think when people start losing these freedoms, you know, like, I couldn't believe Arnold said it, like, you know, basically like, screw your freedom, you know? And this fucking idiot was like born in Austria, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how does he not fucking know about this? Like, I was really unimpressed with that. You know, but that's just, you know, this liberal bullshit, man. Like, these guys get on these fucking bandwagons, and like, everybody in Hollywood has to think this, and they have to do this, or they're going to get canceled. And it's like, man, that's not freedom. That's like, you know, fucking, they're like all anti-fascist, but like the shit that they're doing is like fascist. Fucking fascism, you know, like to a core. And so you look at this stuff, and man, like, until the last 2 years, I didn't realize like what fucking sheep people were. Like, we really are herd animals. You know, you have an anti-bullying cause to the point where you start bullying other people. Yeah. Right. Like, I've seen that on Instagram, where people get reported for bullying. It's completely false reported to the point their account gets taken down. Now, who was actually bullied? The person who just lost their account. And in the U.S. Constitution, we talk about innocent until proven guilty. And you also have the right to face your accuser. And then on social media or in the news, you don't have the right to face your accuser. Well,
it's just
anonymous. Or in our legal system. I mean, dude, when I got charged with the blowing up the semi-truck shit, they took away all my guns. Yeah. Like, well, they didn't take away, they basically stopped allowing me to buy guns. I couldn't own guns. I couldn't have, you know, the federal firearms license, like all this stuff. I wasn't allowed to carry. And so if you're innocent until proven guilty, why the fuck do you lose all your constitutional rights? Right. Like, you're not guilty. You have not been fucking convicted. You're just charged. And many times people get charged for things that they're not fucking guilty of. So it's like, why, if you're innocent until proven guilty, do you lose all these freedoms that are your constitutional rights until they're proven that you're guilty? Yeah, it doesn't seem to make sense. It serves them. Speaking of innocent until proven guilty, your attorney, Tom Goldstein, fantastic stories. Him racing you. I still don't understand how you took that Shelby Mustang and beat his Ferrari with it. It was a 65 AC Cobra, and it's funny because that's like the year that Ford beat Ferrari in Le Mans. Yeah, Shelby actually went to my high school, so he's a very famous person. Like in Dallas, he's from East Dallas. Yeah, that's crazy. No, he was awesome, man, and they did a really good job with that movie. But yeah, it was just interesting because that was kind of like the rivalry, and I had the car, you know, from 65 that beat. That was the motor, the 427 side oiler, and that was kind of the start of the muscle car era, you know, and so it was interesting because I thought that I should beat him just because of the math, right? Like my car is lighter and I have more horsepower, so I should just win in a fucking drag race, you know. But nobody really knew because his car hadn't even come out yet. I mean, we had some car and driver reports, but I mean, I don't know. It was one of those things where it was like a shit talking bet that kind of like found out. Your math made sense to me, but the times that he was reporting were so much lower than yours. But was it below 11 seconds, and then you ended up beating that? Yeah, so I didn't realize how much stickier the drag track was going to be than the streets. Oh, okay, yeah. The streets out here in Vegas, like it doesn't rain very much. So the oil kind of like builds up, and they're real slick. Yeah. And so when I was trying it out here, man, I was having a hell of a time getting below 13. And plus, like, I wasn't like shifting right. You know, I'd never really done a drag race, and maybe I didn't measure it off, all this stuff. But I I didn't realize. I mean, man, like when you're talking about like tenths of a second,
Yeah.
it's like little things make a difference. And yeah, I just had to basically learn how to drag race. In his car, I mean, you just push the gas down and it goes.
So he did not have a stick. I didn't even know that. So
No,
he was just
his was like the Tiptron, like the whole like dual clutch, all whatever the F1 shifting. You just didn't have to do anything. Push the pedal down, and it shifts at the perfect points and instantaneously shifts, right? Like there's like split second, whatever. And I had, the clutch and the fucking,
The thing that I also thought was great about Tom is that he had argued in front of the Supreme Court, as you mentioned, and his most famous letter was the one he sent to the attorney for the porn star that you had thrown off your roof, who had broken her heel falling into your pool. And I thought that was absolutely fantastic.
Well, not only had he argued in front of the Supreme Court, I think he'd argued more Supreme Court cases than any other lawyer in the history of the United States. So it was like...
And he's your poker buddy.
Yeah, so it wasn't like just some lawyer, but
Yeah.
he was like the fucking guy. So that's why it was even funnier. And also since he had like never done a drug and super square dude.
That's incredible, man. That part I thought was absolutely fantastic, man. Just so many great stories in there. The decision to self-publish, what was that? Where did that come from?
I mean, dude, they want to give you some slave ass contract where they take 85%.
Really?
85. Yeah. So Goggins kind of like turned me on to that. He self-published, and they all told him he was fucking crazy and this and that. And I just looked at that like, there's no way I'm giving these motherfuckers 80%, 85% of the money. Like I'm doing all the work. Like I've got the platform. I'm going to drive the fucking sales. And we did more in sales. Like I qualified for a New York Times bestseller just in the pre-sales.
Did you? Okay, so that was the next question. I don't know how the book's doing so far.
But I'll never get on the list because they have like all these things where like they force you to go with these publishers in order to get on the New York Times bestseller list because they won't count any online sales. Like they don't, it's just all these things they have set up. It's just like typical bullshit. To be a New York Times bestseller, you only have to sell like 10,000 books.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nothing.
A lot of people not selling a lot of books, I guess.
Well, you have to sell it by their rules.
Right.
So it's not just 10,000 books. It's 10,000 books sold by their rules. And then if they don't like, they're super liberal. So if like they don't like you or whatever, like they can just not put you on the list.
Yes, I've seen that before. Yeah.
It's just total horse shit, And so it's one more of those things where I was just like, kind of like, fuck the system, fuck these guys, fuck the publishers. Like, I'm gonna do my own thing.
I thought it was that you were worried about some of the things you put in the book wouldn't be allowed.
Oh, well, yeah, they'd probably try and have like some control over that. And I was giving them fucking zero control. I just don't play by rules, dude. Like, I just do my thing.
I've noticed.
And,
I've noticed. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like, fuck those motherfuckers.
We discussed an audiobook. Do you intend on narrating your audiobook?
I think that's what everybody's telling me I should do. I don't want to do it.
I told you I'll do it. I would do it in 2 seconds, brother.
I might take you up on that. I mean, I have to do it. The problem is we've got a paper shortage, so we're about to run out of books.
Oh, okay.
And they can't print more until January, so it kind of sucks. But yeah, I think the audiobook is going to do really well. People are very lazy and they don't want to read, and I don't blame them. I didn't really want to read.
You know what's crazy is, so I know maybe more than a dozen people that you name in the book, and I messaged a bunch of them, and really? I'm in the book. Like Lindsay's like, really? Tell me more about that. I'm like taking pictures of the book. Sam Rima, Dan Fleischman. Oh, actually, let's get to this before I forget. The whole trust fund thing, you took photos of the receipts for the trust fund that eventually at one point was worth 98 million, and then at the end was worth like less than 2 million for you.
Yeah, I think it was 3 total. It was like, it was maybe like it was around 3, and then when I cashed them, I think it was around like 2-ish.
So 2 million was essentially what the trust fund that you got from your dad. And then the other thing that I thought was great was Dan Fleischman co-signing the 10.8 million. Dan lets me, he's an awesome guy. He lets me host some of his charity events. He's a really, really great dude. And he talks about you winning 10.8 million off that one guy. And then you post the wire on your Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, I have all the wire receipts. I mean, it was all sent to my bank. So I have like literally every single win, all the wires that came in. So it's like this is not like, up for debate. Like I have like proof. Like I have every single wire. It was like, I mean, I have it in the book. It's like 5.5 million. I think it was like 7.7, 10.8, 12 point something, and then there was like some smaller wins too, but it was like, it's not like maybe this is exactly what
this is where it happened from.
I laid it all out and I said it was from Al Gore's. I mean, said who it was. I have a fucking picture of me playing him. I have the exact amounts. I have the fucking wires. Like, it's not like I'm making this shit up. I mean, for a long time, I think people are like, oh, there's no way this fucking guy made $50 million playing private poker. It's like, okay, douchebag, like keep playing online, fucking, enjoy.
But it was to your advantage, though.
No, 100%. And I didn't want people to think that I was fucking winning a ton of money.
It helped
like,
that your father was a famous financier in the 1980s.
Yeah, I didn't perpetuate that I was a good poker player. That's the last thing I wanted people to think. Like, I wanted to get into good games with bad fucking players. And the way you do that is by not like talking about how great you are at poker. So, I didn't care. Like all these people, like the people that knew that I was winning a lot is like, doesn't this bother you? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's why I'm winning a lot of this money. So
the money spends all the same.
Yeah, it does. I don't give a fuck where it comes from. Like, I really don't, And so I don't know. I don't care if people believe that I won it or not. I don't give a shit. I mean, listen, I've been fucking spending crazy amounts of money for a long time. Like, I bought a jet in, when it was like 2003.
Yeah.
Right. So like, you don't buy a fucking Gulfstream in 2003 if you're not doing well. Like, the trust fund, the soonest I could have got it was at 35, and I didn't even cash it in. So, I gave it to my brother, and then he owed me some money, and then he gave it back to me. But I didn't even, like I said, I have the receipts of exactly when I sold it and what I sold it for. So it's not like there's no ambiguity here. It's not like it's...
There is none. That's one of the things I loved about this book is that your life did have a lot of ambiguity. You don't do a ton of interviews, which, by the way, thank you. I mean, you came all the way to our studio here, which is amazing. And so there was a lot of things like we didn't know the order of things or what happened. And this book answered so many questions that I would have had before, which makes it so fantastic, especially about the midget fucking the two girls in the entryway of your house. That is one of the most fantastic stories I have ever heard in my life. And only wish that I had been there to see it. Yeah, man. So are you going to go back to the Ignite parties? Are we doing any more of those?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to start throwing parties again now that like
these
restrictions. I don't know. I've never really been a big fan of like throwing parties at Vegas houses.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Might go to Miami. I don't know. I kind of hate going back to LA because I just don't like all their guidelines or laws.
And they change
all their
very
bullshit.
quickly. They change often, yeah.
So I think Miami's kind of like the new spot now. That's where people are going. It's my, home state. And so, yeah, I mean, also we can do it at casinos here too, like the different, Resorts World. We could do it at, some of the, different MGM.
Yeah, I saw Resorts World has your, the Ignite stand in there right there in front of Zook, the new nightclub that just opened up.
Yeah.
So that's like.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good venues already, It's just, I always like to do it in LA. I think this thing is kind of, it's weird.
We good, Travis? Okay, cool.
Okay. But yeah, so I think, now that I'm done with the fucking book finally and, COVID's kind of lifted, I think it's probably going to be time to get back on the horse. I've been really focused on the business, man. Like we've been crushing it, and the vape sales are doing incredible. We're in South America. We're going into the UAE. We're in the UK. We're going into Europe. I mean, so it's really massively expanding. I mean, I knew it was going to be a great business, and it's proved to be so.
So let's talk about that. There was a Forbes article that comes out about the losses that Ignite was taking, and we didn't hear from you for a long time.
Yeah.
And can you talk about what happened during that interim? And you said you have to lose money. I mean, obviously other companies lose money. Can you just describe what happened during that whole situation?
Yeah. So, I mean, COVID hit us, that was really unfortunate. A lot of our shit got, stuck in China. Canada wouldn't let us sell THC up there. They shut a lot of that stuff down. I mean, it was just headache after fucking headache with all that. And our management really wasn't that great. We had a guy in there that I fired, and he was like the whistleblower that came out and talked all this shit. And I think he was the catalyst for a lot of those articles. When you fire people,
they get mad.
Yeah, they get mad, and then they try and figure out a way to extort you.
I mean, to be honest with you, I was sitting there wondering, like, man, I know how much I live in Vegas. Diplo and Sway Lee and Cardi B. I'm like, these parties are like they're huge, and I'm like, this is.
The funny
crazy.
thing is, I wasn't even paying for a lot of that. Like, I didn't
really.
I never
Another
paid.
question. You weren't paying them.
Well, I paid Cardi B. I didn't pay Diplo. I didn't pay Carnage. I didn't pay Alesso. I didn't pay Sway Lee. I didn't pay Tyga. So we got a lot of value at those parties. And
that's
it's funny,
incredible.
Cardi B was like the only one that I didn't even listen to. I didn't even come up because it was too crowded. But yeah, it was one of those things where I actually didn't spend a crazy amount marketing, but like we lost money doing some bad deals. We came to market a little bit too late for the cannabis. The cannabis was a big fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, we made some mistakes, but look, like a lot of it was spent, making fucking noise.
Yeah.
We were doing big shit, and people know the fucking brand. I mean, that's why Ignite's got, a bigger, more loyal following than almost any other fucking brand and every other brand in the cannabis space put together. And like I said, the engagement's better than Nike. I mean, it costs some money to fucking do those things, and so we were going hard. And an example I like to give, like we lost $50 million a year. Uber lost fucking $5 billion in a quarter. Like, companies lose money when they're fucking growing, and now we're profitable. We're doing well. Like every fucking quarter, we're beating the last quarter. We're crushing it. Things are going well. It takes a little while to fucking, get a big international business like that set up. And sometimes you got to spend money to make money. And usually in the beginning, if you're doing things right, you're not just trying to spit out a big profit in the beginning. It's just not a, business model that, almost anybody fucking achieves success with. Right. So, I mean, it's one of those things that takes time, and now we've done it, and we've proved, all those fucking idiots wrong. But like I said, a lot of people, they don't care if it's true or not. They just want to put out a fucking headline that's going to get engagement.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people don't understand how business works too.
They don't.
They really don't get it, and like, they're like, oh, fucking, you're taking shareholders' money, and it's like this and that. It's like almost all the money that came from Ignite was put in by me or private investors. Yeah, I think I put in more, but like private investors put in money, but it was like the amount of money that came in from like people buying stock, I think was like fucking, next to nothing.
Ignite is publicly traded on the Canadian Stock Exchange. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
CSE.
So let me ask you, what do you think the prospects of THC becoming federally legal? Did you think it was before and something's changed?
Well, I mean, that's what Biden and Harris promised us, right?
Right.
But you know how full of shit politicians are. I don't know. I mean, right now we're pulling out of THC until it becomes legal. I mean, just because it's such a shit show.
Right.
They're really giving such a leg up to the black market by not having them test their stuff, by not making them pay taxes. They just have such an advantage that, I mean, why compete when no cannabis company, I don't think there's a single cannabis company out there making money right now. So it's like they've just put such a stranglehold on it, and they've regulated it, and they've made these licenses so expensive, and they put all these fucking hurdles and loopholes. It's not worth it.
And Ignite is doing vapes for nicotine. What else?
Nicotine, CBD, and eventually we'll do THC.
Yeah.
Like we're going to do that, when it makes sense. But right now it's just, makes no fucking sense. So.
Incredible, man. I think we went over everything. We went over the First Amendment, bro. We did it. We did it, man. I told you this is going to be the most thorough interview you ever done.
A to Z.
A to Z, man. It's really great. Hopefully we can have you on here again. Hey, guys, everybody who watched this, I want to say thank you so much. I am never going to take you guys for granted, no matter what happens. And Dan, I'm never going to take you for granted because you came out here. You didn't have to do this, and I really appreciate it. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, make sure you share this. And also, I want you guys to go to Ignite. It's ignite.co, correct?
Yep, ignite.co.
You're going to go to ignite.co, and you're going to pick up this book. You guys know, like, one of my favorite things, I have a book list. I talk about a lot of different books. I cannot recommend this highly enough, especially the things that you talk about in the setup. Real quick, somebody wants to change their life. You talk about it in the setup. One of my favorite things in there says the key to success is somebody getting as much experience in as short amount of time, right? That's actually the key to success. If somebody's reading this and they want to change their life, they want to do some better stuff, do you have any like quick tips for them?
Yeah, I mean, basically, in a nutshell, you look at what you want to accomplish, what you want to achieve, and then how to get there. I think a lot of people don't spend enough time figuring out the road to their success as they do, focusing on like, I want this, I want this, I want this. It's like, okay, but the most important thing is how are you going to get that? And how are you going to get that in the most effective, efficient way possible? Yeah. And that's what a lot of this is about, is efficiency, with girls, like not having to, spend a ton of time, trying to like, approach and putting in all this volume if you can figure out a better way. Like when you're in college and when you don't have any money and when you have no resources, sometimes you got to, pay your fucking dues. And, this book isn't about not paying your dues, but it's more about like front loading things. And it's about doing what you got to do early, so then later on, you get the things you want with ease and, in excess. So this book is going to point out a lot of great ways to find efficiencies in your life. I will absolutely co-sign on that, man. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you for sending me an early copy. I don't know if I was the first one to finish it, but I tried to be. You were one of the first, man. Yeah. A lot of people were mad that you got it. They're like, what the fuck, you give this guy a book and not me? I'm in it, and this and that. That's awesome, man. Shout out to everybody who's in the book.
call me up. I'll tell you what the stories were like, because a lot of our friends don't read. Yep. So anyway, thank you guys so much for showing. Thank you for going along with us, man. Hopefully we can have you back here again, and we will see you guys next week.
Cool. Thanks, brother.